on the exterior ROM, that museum you saw in the intro. I'll be working on that some more, and showing maybe some arts and crafts that I've been working on. I've been working on a new cross stitch, and there's a polymer clay project I haven't shown you guys that's already finished. I could also show. So yeah, there's a few things, and we're gonna raid Dan now. Dan has his own channel, Dan Policar. Piece of music tonight, I think, and hopefully Dan will
What's
be able
up?
to show that on
What's
his
up,
end.
guys? You probably still hear
Bring
Julia
me set
talking
this to
on
raid
her
then,
channel if you're here.
and I'll see you guys there. And I do have I think maybe a half a dozen more photos for Dan to show for his "This Is Your Life"
Oh no.
challenge for Dan. So when we get over to Dan's channel, we can play that for a break. If Dan ever deserves a break from his work, we can do that.
Sounds low right now.
Yeah, Dan. See, yeah, Dan.
Sound might be
Jump
low on
started
her, but
there.
is the sound low on my
And
mic?
yeah, we're gonna just
Let me
wait a
know.
little bit
If
for
the
that to
sound
go
is low on my
down.
mic, then that's a problem. I'll try to fix
And
that.
yeah, it's like I said, it's been going well. We'll see next week. You never know. I might be back with the 1.2 megapixel
Better? Okay.
front-facing camera
I think it's
instead
just
of the
because her
13
sound
Pro.
is really quiet on Twitch,
I
so
am
hopefully we'll be
considering
able
getting the
to adjust
Wacom
that.
Mobile Studio Pro, the
So
13-inch
we'll
version,
sort it out here in
and
2 seconds when
because it's
everybody
Wacom
shows
and I know
up.
it works, and I just want something to work. It doesn't have a built-in keyboard. You have to buy a wireless keyboard to go with it. Wacom does have one. I might give that a shot. We'll see. Hopefully, maybe the new driver I downloaded today, because a really nice person told me that there is a driver update. So I'm trying
So I'm
that. We'll
trying to
see.
make sure we
Fingers
have
crossed. Fingers
Julia's
crossed.
game
I'll see you over
showable.
at
Hopefully
Dan's.
we do. Let's see. Oops. No, we'll have to sort it out in a second. We'll figure it out. No, we'll have to. You should be able to see me now. The raid. We're going to try to bring Julia in here, hopefully. That will be the ideal situation. As soon as she calls me on Discord, we'll bring her in. Ah, thank you, Amberseen. The Amberseen Zero is the first subscriber I ever had, and now for 2 months. That's amazing. That's awesome. Surprise raid. And thank you for the follow, Aforama. You know what's fun? Just trying to do these damn pronunciations of names because I have a special guest. Okay, we got Julia's piece of paper or
Can you hear me at least?
screen. We do see you.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. It defaults to the back-facing camera for some odd reason. Let me fix this. Yeah.
So how's the volume, everybody? Is it better? It should be better. I tried
Oh my
something
goodness.
new.
Please work. Why won't you work?
Good, good, good. No, it's mostly the voice that I tried to improve. It's about 1.5. Yeah, no, we'll try to make Julia louder in a second as soon as she turns on
Okay.
her mic properly, hopefully.
Oh,
So,
you know what? I've got to turn off OBS. I forgot. Gah.
okay. She just wanted to go incognito mode tonight, and that's cool. And we have, I saw here, I don't actually know how to pronounce her name. I think it's Lise or Lace Pendragon, who I saw a Twitter message. Actually, Julia forwarded to me a Twitter message. What's up, Julia? Hi. You can't see me,
Hello.
but I can see you.
I can see you on my iPad. It's good enough.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Cool. So I was gonna say we were trying to figure out how we pronounce Lace or Lace.
Lace?
Lace. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Lace Pendragon. We got it. Nice.
Sweet.
And Julia sent me a Twitter message earlier this week, like a couple of days ago or whatever, where she had ran a cool experiment. So, and I asked her on Twitter if we could kind of go through that on the stream today, and she was gracious enough to say, "Yep, no problem." She's also a game composer. I know almost nothing about her except she had a cool experiment, and I liked the what's the word? I liked the what is it? It's I'm trying to use semi PG words here. I like the balls. Yeah, it's not PG, but it is what it is. I like the balls that it took to do something like that. So yeah, honesty is a good word too. The metrics were part of what I thought was good. Gumption is a good word. Guacamole is probably the
Guacamole.
best word. Not accurate at all, but definitely the best word. Cojones is a good one too. I mean, look, my whole goal here is to pronounce things incorrectly. So, and Edenway says, "What'd you say? One of your coworkers doing what now? A bit of audio work in some newer fancy program. Ableton. Why does my chat keep going?
Hey,
But I told him he
Tonda.
should have a sweet setup. Yeah, don't do that. Ableton is like you could do this whole soundtrack in like 20 minutes. They say the size of your keyboard shows off how big your music cred is. Interesting. I have a lot of keyboards, but I don't know. I only have one big one, and it's not here. It's at the speakeasy that I used to play at before, all craziness broke out.
Oh, Dan, do you want to introduce yourself, or do you
Oh
want me to
yeah, hi,
introduce
I'm
you?
Dan. I do
Yes.
stuff. I make noise. I'm a First of all, I used to be a performing touring musician, but I have recently, since March, become more of a composer, games, and some film and some TV stuff briefly. I think I shared one time. Did we ever share the American Flag Football League theme on stream?
We did.
I think we did, yeah.
We did.
So I've done a lot of cool, weird stuff. I'm working on music for Julia's game, which is called The Crimson Diamond, and you can find all about it on thecrimsondiamond.com. It is available as a demo on Steam and itch.io or itch.io if you prefer. 104 keys, extended Swiss Alps switches, probably different than key. Well, I have an IBM Model M I could crack out if we really want to, but that's something else. So anyway, today we're gonna make noise, I hope, and like horror, screaming, death noise and things like that. Um, Julia, can you put your links in here? By the way, I need to just put them into the bot, but I'm like not good at that stuff.
Yeah, let me get into it on my PC so it's easier for me to copy paste stuff.
So let's show off this actual keyboard that I have. So this is some. Let's see, where is it made? It says made in China. It's called Go Free Tech, which is definitely like the most high-end brand you could possibly buy on the market today. I think I got it for $25 off eBay, but I just love the way it feels, and so I never bothered to use my Model
Ooh.
M or nicer stuff. It's noisy. Let's see if we can do this. Oh, that's such sweet Foley right there. Oh, and
Hmm.
then I typed in my old message, even better. Yeah, they raised the price to like $75 after I bought it. Like not long after I bought it. I don't know. I like mechanical keyboards. I like noisy. It's good. Yeah, keyboard ASMR. What's up, Tonda? Good to see you. Yeah, so we're gonna make some noise. We're gonna talk a little bit about Lace uh, tweets and her experience with promoting her music, and it's something that I actually probably have more qualifications to talk about than game music because it's kind of a newer thing for me. But it's also been a great experience. So, in addition to Julia's game, I'm also working on a game called Empire of Sin, which is by Brenda Romero and John Romero, and that will be coming out soon um, on all platforms, pretty much. Not mobile, but all major console and PC and Mac platforms. I don't know if there's a Linux port. Oh, but speaking of which, yes, the John Romero. Yep, nice guy. The family is. I'm good friends with the family, and the studio's in Ireland. Yep, Switch. It'll be coming out on Switch, which is awesome. Is it is going to be as good as Daikatana? Well, it's funny you should ask that. So let's do our first quick show and tell now that I've heard the word Daikatana. Right here, we happen to have a big box PC copy of John Romero's Daikatana, and Even better, it is still sealed.
Oh man.
Crispy, crispy, crispy.
So is that your original thing that you had from when you bought it, or
I
did you
got
buy
it.
that
I got
later?
it off like eBay or somewhere like a
Okay.
couple of weeks ago or a month ago.
Oh
I've been
wow.
looking for it for quite a while. But now here's the thing about Daikatana. Does anybody know this company called Ion Storm? Anybody know that? Anybody know the games they did other than Daikatana? Ah, Jim Plays Games says Deus Ex. Yes, that's right. And who was that designed by? Does anybody know the designer? Anybody? Yep. Up and then Eshetir. I'm sorry about these names. Anachronox is another one. Yep. Warren Spector. That's right. Warren Spector designed Deus Ex, which is still a franchise that's in existence. And do you know who hired him to work at Ion Storm? Keep the quiz going.
I've got a quiz for you later, Dan. Don't worry.
Yep, John Romero, because this was his company, Ion Storm. So you can blame him for Daikatana, or you could say, first of all, this box art's cool, or you could credit him also as partially responsible for the creation of another still going game franchise, Deus Ex, which is pretty amazing, my opinion.
That studio says he was raising his hand, but Dan never calls on him.
It's
I
all in the
know.
book Masters of Doom, somebody said.
Oh yes,
And
of
I've
course.
shown this off before, but this
You
is
have.
my favorite, one of my favorite autographed items by John. He gave this to me at a show that I did last summer in Nottingham, and I had the whole family there at the show. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. So, Jim, is that a real thing? Jim Plays Games? It's a really great book, actually. The author is a New York Times writer. That's amazing. Will Wheaton reads the book. That's great. That is just great.
So do you have any like Sean Paul merch that's signed or what?
Yes. I have a few things. The main thing I have is a large poster of one of our tour. It was one of our tour posters where Sean is actually wearing this hat in the promo photo,
Mm-hmm.
and it's signed, and he signed it for me backstage. I got like a whole stack of them, and check this out. I left them in one of my hotel rooms in Germany. So what did I do? I got on the goddamn phone. Excuse me, my language. I got on the phone and I called the hotel and I said, "Listen, I need these things. Did you find them? I'll pay. I'll pay to get them shipped." I think it was $75 to get it shipped back to the U.S. One little tube of posters, but I paid it.
Mm.
I was ready. I said, "Yes, no problem. Give it to me," because I did. It was a whole bunch of the posters from the tour.
Mm-hmm.
The promoter gave me a bunch of brand new ones, and then I was able to get Sean to sign one backstage there. But what one of my goals is with Sean, Julia, is to play.
What?
Oh, that's the promo shot. It's not the actual
Yes.
poster. It probably was from 16 though. That's probably was that year. I don't remember exactly. It was either 16. It's probably 16 now that I think of it. Yep. No, not to get Sean to play Daikatana or the Crimson Diamond because he's not going to enjoy typing. I could tell you that right now. Let me show off and let me do one little quick show and tell too with this too, and see if anybody can guess what I'm going to show off.
Nice one. Been there, Dan hat. Good one, Jim. Jim Plays Games. Okay, let me.
Anybody? No, I'm sure he doesn't hate typing. He was texting. I was texting with him this morning or this afternoon. He was asking me if there was something going on in Brooklyn. Like it looked like Juve was going on in Brooklyn or a carnival was going on in Brooklyn. I don't know if anybody here is from Brooklyn, but that's another story entirely. Ah, The Doctor of Dance is here, ladies and gentlemen. My favorite. One of my favorite streamers to watch because she's educating me every time I'm on her stream. Me and
You
Furroy
can't
are
wait
always
to
on the
hear more
same. We're always on the same dang streams. It seems like. So what's up, Doctor Mikachu? No, this is what I wanted to. I want to play this game with him because he is a playable character in this game. Let's see. So somewhere, if you can see that, I don't know if you can. Where is he? He's right there. You probably can't see that. This camera's not going to get it. I'm not Amiga Bill with his fancy cameras and stuff. Or, also, could play this game because he's also a playable character in this game, I believe. Let's see. Does it say that he is? Yes, he is. And for some reason, these games right now on, if you try to buy them in the stores or on eBay, they're really stupidly expensive. I don't know what happened. I think this one's $100. I don't know. I must have bought it for $20 a few years back. Anyway, yes, I do like my games and plenty of show and tell. Whoops, what am I doing here? No, leave that there. Okay, there we go. Illy Swank. Yep, PSP. That one is not like known about as much as the Xbox or PS2 or GameCube versions, but I guess I don't know. People just like that version, or it's more uncommon, or whatever. I don't know. I
So
don't know
how
the
or why
answers.
did that happen?
How or why was he a playable character?
Yeah.
So at the time, oh, and I'll give another story after that, quickly related to that. At the time, he was probably one of the hotter artists that was out, and he wasn't. He was never a Def Jam artist. Um, as far as I know, he was always on Atlantic Records until like 5 years ago, 5 6 years ago, and then he went to Island. But other than that, this game came out in 2000. I want to say I don't see what year it says. Somebody can tell me what year this game came out. Probably what? 5, 6, something like that. So he would have been pretty hot still at that time, and they were just using hot artists and put them in games. And it was like the beginning of the end for CD sales. So it was kind of the beginning of the launching of artists selling their merch and their brand. This would be one way. Now, Sean definitely wasn't like one of the major, most well-known characters in the game, but whatever. He's in it. It's awesome.
It's
And it's
awesome.
his actual voice that he did the VO for in this game.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so cool.
Now, also, here's another fun. Well, there's two little offshoots. Has anybody ever played a Shark's Tale for PS2 or GameCube? I don't know if it's for Xbox.
Dr. Mikachu, have you played a Shark's Tale?
She might have.
Yeah.
Seems like she would be she's the resident shark dancing shark
Yes.
of Twitch and of the game universe, I would think. So the first level is Sean Paul's song during the first level. It's a licensed track. I forget which track it is, but I think it's from the movie. And I was like, wow. The game isn't bad, actually. It was playable. Like, I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I wouldn't, go out of my way, but if my daughter watched the movie, I'd make her play the game, you know. Now, where did I put it? Right here. We're going to go one step further. We're going to flash forward to the PS3 era, and they released this game called Def Jam Icon. Sean was not a playable character in this game, but somebody that we know worked on this game. Let's see if I can find it in the credits. No, the credits are not here. Probably too long. Yep. The Shark's Tale is based on the animated movie. Yep. Brenda Romero actually worked, I believe, as either the the lead writer or a designer on this game. So this was the next game I think that came after the Fight for New York series. I hope they bring it back, but I doubt they will because it's just going to be super expensive. And maybe worth it, maybe not. I don't know that they have a plan to make it like Mortal Kombat 11 or something like that, where they can really, make back all the investment money that they put in. But who knows? Anyway, let's see. Haven't played a Sharks. Yes, cultures maybe different people are scared of different things. Is that Rick? Classic Gamers Guild. What's up? Good to see you. So anyway, that's a little bit of a long story, but I think interesting gaming history, and it's kind of like in a way it's been described to me like the music industry, where there's really not that many of us. It seems like there's a billion of us, but there really isn't that many of us in the industry. Like it's the same, you see the same names and faces over a certain period of time. Does that seem like a fair? Oh yes, Judith Butler's lover. I'm gonna have to create a Discord link. Let me see if I can do that. I don't know if I can do that at the moment on this machine, but I will when I switch over to the Mac, because you can always message. Can you message people on Twitch? You can, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so if you can message me, I'll send you the link. I usually put it in here, but it expires after a day, which is a good thing because otherwise you're going to get a lot of spam in your Discords. So today's show was an artifact starring a famous person that you know in real life. So Julie and I were talking about that today, like celebrities that we know. And she mentioned a couple of celebrities that she had met. But I don't know. I've met a lot of celebrities, but I guess it's kind of not fair because that was my job. Not necessarily to meet them, but to work with them. So like if I worked on a TV show or something like Amiga Bill, he's probably meeting famous people all the time as well, just because the nature of his job. So, yeah, we're waiting for Dr. Mikachu will be streaming on Thursday nights. I know normally there's one tomorrow, but I don't think there is one. And Thursday night, I'm looking forward to it because she's doing a game design doc stream, which should be pretty cool. So, yeah, no, I'm not trying to brag. I'm trying to keep it humble. I'm trying to keep it, what's the word? Normal. Not be a, stuck up, what's the name? I don't like those kind of people. So I don't want to be one. What's up? Thank you for the follow, Proto Man 16. Dave, don't worry. Anytime I get an inflated ego, that's why Julie is here. To make sure it doesn't go that far.
Anytime.
She's the proper gatekeeper. So we have a little bit of music we want to do. Should we start messing with some music, or did you want to do something first?
Well, I wanted to do the experiment, address the experiment thing.
The which?
The Twitter experiment.
Oh yes, let's do that. Let's do that. Let me just call it up on. Let me just call it up here.
Forever.
No, that's cool. That's a very good idea. Let's call her name up here, and then I'll share the screen. There she is. Okay, let me share this now. Firefox.
I would just hate, at least Pendragon, I would hate for us to just go on like we usually do for 3 hours and just not get to it.
Oh, we'll do that for sure.
Yeah, there's a risk of that.
No, it's all good, Slat Studio. I'm just happy to have you guys here with us hanging out. It's a good time. I'm not offended or whatever. Are my feelings hurt? Probably. I'll cry myself to sleep later. No. Okay, so let's see. The first thing that opens up. So this is Lay's music, at Lay's Music on Twitter. And I like a lot of what's going on here just right away, because what she's doing is, and as let me not speak for her because she's here, but I think what's cool is it's pretty to the point. She's a composer, available for commissions or projects. Ask me for details, DM or contact here. Pronouns, yep, Cool. And there's her Bandcamp link, which takes you to a place which is a marketplace for music. Let's see. Let's go on. So here's her demo video, and I believe, Lay's correct. Whoops, correct me if I'm wrong, but this, excuse me, this demo video was the video that you advertised. Does that sound correct? It actually wasn't. Oh, okay. So I'm wrong about that. Nice. 0 for 1 tonight. I use that video in my follower campaigns. Can you, well, let's just go to the tweets because that'll clear everything up. And thank you for the retweet there. Let's see. Okay, 5,000 plays on Bandcamp. That's cool. Very cool. And it's right here, I think. Yes. Let's jump to this thread. Yesterday was Bandcamp Friday, and I made the bold move to use Twitter ads to see how I would do. Time to get real. I'm going to completely rethink the way I use Twitter for music. Insights with explanations below. Maybe some game audio folks will find this helpful. And Lays, I don't know if you know much about the folks that are in the chat here, but I would say there's a good portion of them that are programmers or artists or I don't know even what Dr. Mikachu is. She's kind of everything. She's like all of the above, but really a heavy game designer. Yeah, exactly. Or combinations thereof. Freud. There's a lot of people in the chat, in addition to Julia and myself. So it's cool for all of us. We kind of use this as an educational tool for all of us. I think we're learning. I hope people in the chat and watching the streams are also learning. That's really our goal anyway. So I hope everybody will also find this helpful in addition to myself. So she says, I thought it would be an excellent time to test out Twitter ads on something practical. Album sales. Something we hear a lot of when it comes to media engagement on Twitter is don't post links, post video or photos because they do better. Now that's interesting because I don't hear that a lot from music. Believe it or not, in the music industry outside of games, which is where I come from for the last 15, 16 years, I hear that Twitter is kind of not even a platform that really is useful for anybody but huge artists. The useful platforms currently for large artists or for artists trying to do something are Instagram, which is all video, TikTok probably to a lesser degree, and platforms that kind of make video and photos the main thing is what you see, right? Whereas Twitter, all the game people seem to be on Twitter and almost none of them are on Instagram. With the exception of maybe some of the artists and a couple of the musicians. So anyway, as you can see above, this is true for views. Many people viewed the video organically, but as you can see, out of a whopping 386 promoted impressions, 5 people didn't really pay it any mind. Even more staggeringly, 1 person actually clicked the link in the video. Okay, here we go. So here's what we're looking at.
Well, only 5 people paid it mind.
According to the 5 people that were promoted paid any mind. But she had 344 organic, which means she didn't gain much there promoting. Interactions, she gained a lot here. And then impressions, which means people saw it, but I guess what you would say from this, one document is that while there was 15,000, almost 14,000 people that saw it, 5, that number is rough. Those two numbers equating to each other are rough, which is I think what she's saying here. And versus 1,559 organic, 344. So that's a much higher percentage. Like that's a pretty high percentage. That's what, 25% of the people or a little less, 20% of the people viewed the media via that impression, versus 5, which I don't even know what that percentage is so low it's not even worth mentioning. And let's see. What about direct links? How do they fare? Well, out of a total of 5,000 impressions, 7 people clicked on the link. The organic promoted ratio is also much higher because my goal was more visits to Bandcamp for Bandcamp Friday. This would have been more effective. Let's see here.
Yeah, basically saying the most staggering statistic there was the click-through rate.
Oh, in this one? Or the previous one?
Previous.
Gotcha. So if you love retro video game soundtracks, check out my releases. My discography is for sale at 30% off. This is one of the best times to support what I do as Bandcamp is allowing artists to keep 100% of their proceeds. Yeah, this was kind of something that Bandcamp, the website, started where they don't take a percentage of the artist's sales. Okay, 6 organic link clicks, 1 promoted, total engagements, impressions. Interesting. So that says to you that people are really not clicking links, period, no matter how you get them, at least according to this data. Okay, Lays, but what about sales? You are promoting yourself all day. Surely you've got something to show for it. This is the most important part, and every musician needs to hear this. So sit down. Everyone who supported me yesterday was one of the following: someone I am good friends with or have really connected with, supported me in the past, Bandcamp follower, saw me post on Slack or another site, which is cool, and her sales were a total of $45, 5 purchases and 2 downloads. I'm not sure what the difference is. Maybe somebody bought it and hasn't yet downloaded it or something. I'm not too sure what that means exactly. What can we learn from this? It makes completely no sense to advertise to strangers or even followers who are just beginning to know you. Existing connections will make up the bulk of your support, and more personal, intimate platforms are better for this. My takeaway: I've used ads a lot the last couple of months to find like-minded devs, creators, and people who would be interested in my work, and to find new gigs. Their validation and interest in my creations has been wonderful, but I haven't been able to make ends meet. It was rather surprising to learn that even if a link URL is in the video, it's still far less enticing to click than just a Bandcamp link. This means Twitter video previews are a great way to tease upcoming music, but not optimal to promote music that's already out. If I hadn't spent a single dollar on advertising yesterday, the outcome would have been the same, and I probably wouldn't have annoyed as many people. So for those of you sitting on the fence and wondering about Twitter ads for promo, hopefully this answers some questions, and then you see me asking if Lay's minds if we discuss her tweets. So it's cool, and she's here, which is even better. So I have a few thoughts here, but I would love to read some of this because I missed all the chat here.
Yes.
Let's see. Again, let me go back to what I said at the beginning. Oops, let me do a better view here. Let me go back to what I said at the beginning, which I thought this took a lot of cojones. And it was like, you know what? Hey, I'm going to do this no matter what. Come hell or high water, whether I get a good result, bad result, anything in between. Now, my thoughts are a little bit different because I'm wondering too, Lays, if you thought about a couple of different things. I think maybe what people are seeing and what people are seeing here. This is the first tweet, right? So my opinion of buying music is that people just don't do it anymore, given the period that we're in. Where I see people actually paying for music, and the chat they can ask and answer. I see people buying music on places like Steam or GOG, or I'm not too sure on Itch.io, but I'm sure it's there as well, where you're able to buy the game, then the soundtrack, or the game and the soundtrack and other cool stuff as part of some kind of different edition of the game. And of course, if you have a physical release, people are always releasing the physical soundtracks, and if you have a vinyl, collectors love vinyls and things like that. You still buying music, however, I tend to go on shopping sprees with music. So all of you guys that buy music like that, physical CDs or whatever, or even vinyl, are in the vast minority. the majority of people are consuming music through how? Anybody know how? How do people consume music?
Streaming.
How do you listen to your music right now? Yeah, everybody's getting really specific. YouTube, Spotify. Let me show you how people consume their music. This. It doesn't matter what platform it's on. It's this. This thing right here. The smartphone. That's how everybody's consuming most of their media, I think, other than maybe some television. Like you're probably not watching the majority of your network television on there, but it is. So Irreverent Pixel says if it's attached to a game, I get it off itch.io. So yes. So my idea for we haven't really decided what we're actually going to do as far as releasing the soundtrack for this game, but my thoughts and ideas that I would not put it on YouTube. I would not put it on any of the platforms. I wouldn't put it on Bandcamp. I wouldn't put it on like DistroKid, which will distribute my music to the streaming services, Spotify, Tidal, because there's just not enough money there to do it. So if I wanted to encourage people to purchase it, the only way I could see that working is on Steam, GOG, itch.io, wherever the game is. That's where I would want to, send people to. So I don't know, Lays, if that's what you think. You may have a different opinion on it, but that's something that I've seen, and the data on it. I've done some research on CD sales, and they really peaked at around the year 2000. And I think when I had last looked it up as 2019. I put it on Twitter. It was a while ago. 2019, it was roughly 5% of what it was in the year 2000. So you've experienced a 95% decrease in music sales in a little less than 20 years. So that's pretty ridiculous. So I don't know that I would say there's absolutely no sales on Bandcamp at all. At my size, I've had about 50 sales over the last year. Okay. And if I had about 10x my current fan base, that would scale it up to a really nice side hustle. Yes. And that's totally cool. And I don't know where you're in Canada. I did read that. You're another Canuck along with Julia.
Yay.
And Anna, and there's a few. Rick is up there. Who else is up there? There's quite a few people here in Canada, actually.
There's 30 million of us.
Yeah, but physical music is just not really that much of a thing, despite the fact you'll see people selling vinyl and this and that and the other. Who wants to load up Steam to listen to music? That's rubbish. Yes, but I agree with you, Jim Plays Games, but what I'm saying is you will buy the game and the special edition music off of Steam more than you'll ever buy the music off of my Bandcamp or off of, you can't even really do it on iTunes anymore, right? Is that fair to say? Like, I've done it. Certainly, I bought the Shardlight special edition from Francisco, and I don't. To be honest, I don't know that I've listened to it, but I didn't really think about it. I just thought about buying it because it looked like a great deal to me. Maybe it was $3-4. Done. I'll take it. So yeah, but I think Jim Plays Games, if you would buy the special editions and they come with it, and either the composer's getting a piece of it directly, or if they're not and the developer's getting all of that soundtrack sales, that's okay too, because they're in theory going to pay that forward to their composer that they hire for the next game, for whatever they're working on next. So you can look at it as it's supporting the composers no matter how you slice it. They might have a split. Some people have a deal where they split part of the income with the developer. Some people have a deal where it's all the musician. Some people have a deal where it's all the developer. Like if you're at a AAA studio, the vast majority of those composers are not getting any royalties whatsoever. They're just simply being paid up front. And I think, you guys can correct me. The more experienced of you guys can correct me if you're allowed to. And if you're not allowed to, cool. Yeah, so that's the thing, Lays. The question becomes is it worth your time? I would say as far as money, what Julie and I are doing in terms of streaming right now, it's not. But what we are getting out of it, I think it is. I think it's motivating for us. So that's something you can't really quantify in terms of dollars. But if you think about buying music, it just doesn't really happen. The only way you would maybe consider it working, the other besides online on Steam or GOG or wherever, is vinyl. So if I made a vinyl album and it had really, really great cover art, I think that's what people buy. How many of you guys buy vinyl, and how many of you guys have opened the vinyl? I would guess that a lot of you have sealed vinyl. If you buy it, you have sealed vinyl, right? So I think that's part of it. And let's see. I'm sorry, I'm going fast, but let's see. I think there's a possible benefit for name awareness to lead to future job opportunities, but I wonder what you all think. Someone who hires composers and also networks games together, I like learning about new people, even if I don't purchase an album right away. Well, Dr. Mikachu is, I hate to say this, but I think she is a bit of a shark unicorn because I don't think people would do what she did. And she's hiring a composer for a game based off demos she heard them do online. Or maybe it wasn't demos, maybe it was their music that they give away for free. So she said, "Well, they give it away for free. I love it. It's going to fit exactly the game that I'm doing right now." So she went out of her way to hire that composer. But I would call her the not in the majority doing that, right? The majority aren't doing that. I think name recognition is certainly important. And let's see. I would buy the soundtrack to support the artist and actually listen on Spotify or YouTube. Yeah, and I get that Jim plays games, but from my perspective as an artist selling that art, I wouldn't be able to make an income doing it that way. I would be able to make an income, however, assuming the game sells a decent amount of copies, an inclusion, an upsell, if you will, on the game, the soundtrack or a special collector's edition would actually equate to actual dollars coming in. Because you have to remember, all the platforms take a large percentage anyway. So even if I'm taking 100% of the income from the soundtrack, Steam is still taking what, 30%, Epic
Mm-hmm.
is taking 12%, GOG I think is taking 30% as well. You guys could tell me, but yeah. So anyway, I've heard of people losing money on physical media stuff. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, and CD Baby used to do it like I don't know if it was print on demand. I think you actually sent them CDs, but they've all but folded up. Um, yeah, and let's see. Since this is game related, I think players like to have all of the extras. The problem is that some soundtracks sold in Steam don't have all of the game songs. For example, Rocket League and Death Stranding. Well, any licensed stuff is a totally different ballgame, and licensing is just a huge pain, you know? I like my vinyl like I like my wine. Good cover art. That's what it is. That's what it boils down to. So I'm just saying, from my perspective as an artist, trying to maximize my potential income, because this is what I, before the pandemic, I was a full time musician. The majority of my income came from performing, but some did come from other sources, recording and production and things like that. Let's see. On a related note, most visual artists don't make their living from galleries or exhibits. It's mostly from prints and illustrations work. Well, that's Julia's territory. I wouldn't try to answer that one.
Yeah. The thing is, I found there was a kind of a separation between illustration work and the gallery fine art stuff. The friends I had in college, we kind of almost diverged upon graduating, either doing more gallery focused stuff or doing the illustration stuff. But yes, galleries they'll take 50% off, 50% right off the top. So you kind of have to double your prices to get the price you'd want off something, and among other things, of course. And how many gallery showings are you going to be doing a year? So it's
I
so
don't
much
know
about
how many do you how on average how many gallery showings would you do?
if you were doing that full time, I have no idea. The gallery probably wouldn't do a show of yours more than once a year, I would say, or twice a year. Then I guess you do group shows too occasionally, but like you're not gonna have a lot of work done, like up in a group show to even have anyone to buy it.
Because
So I don't
you
actually
can't
know how.
create that much art in that amount of time. Is that the problem?
Yeah, they don't want to. I guess they don't want to inundate like the gallery. I don't know a lot about the gallery side. I've only shown my work in group shows occasionally, and I actually don't know very much about that world. But it's it's kind of strange how that operates, because the galleries operate, and they want it to be looks like it's scarce. They want it to have cachet. They want it to be cool and trendy, and it's a
Marketing,
whole so much marketing that
marketing,
goes in.
totally.
Um, but the illustration side, of course, is it's a lot for me. I found from my experience, there's a lot of little jobs here and there that you can pick up, and sometimes it can be good to get recognition to do something that you think, if you're going to work for someone, that potentially could lead to other things. So that works in both places, like music and art, for sure.
Yeah. Well, I think this is just me spending a lot of time with producers and writers and artists, some of which who have sold millions of records, like Sean Paul, for example. I've spent plenty of time in the studio with him over the last 8 years. Um, I've spent time with other artists, and there's so many things that go into it, and the cost just goes quickly, goes way up, right? Like for
Hmm.
Sean to make a song, it's tens of thousands of dollars unless he makes it in Jamaica. If he's anywhere else, it's going to cost a lot of money because he's staying at a quality hotel, he's flying first class, he's with an expensive producer, studio time for 2 3 days. The costs add up very quickly. So, it is what it is. So yeah, and I'm watching. I'm reading what Lays is saying here, and yeah. So I like what you did, Lays, and I would encourage you to maybe even retry certain experiments. I mean, I know it's probably not the most financially sound idea, but your experiment was cool, and I think maybe try it again, changing a few of the variables and see what happens. Because I don't necessarily think that all the conclusions can be drawn without a lot more data, like a lot more different methods. Like, let me try it with a video of what if your video was only cats, right? This has been one of the theories I've done. Follower campaigns, interesting. I'm not even sure what that means, to be honest. So I
Me
applaud
neither.
you just for that. Like,
Yeah.
I assume that you are a lot younger than me because I'm old. One, and two, because you're much more on it than I am. I don't even know what a lot of the stuff is. Like, Julie and I are like trying to figure out Twitch. Like, hey, what's this button do? Whoops, stream's over. See you guys next week. you know, yeah. Okay? So you're not that much younger than me, but you're still significantly younger than me. Yeah, I'm old. So that's how it goes. But anyway, um, yeah, I would encourage you to try different things. Okay, yeah, thanks, Judith Butler's lover. I'll get back to you probably after the stream, and I'll send you the Discord link. I don't know how to do it uh, better. Again, this is another thing stating that I don't know what the hell I'm doing on Twitch or Nightbot or whatever. So yeah, that's what it is. But yeah, I've just spent all the time in the music industry side of it, not the game industry side of it. And the music industry side of it is that they don't make money off album sales. That's why no record companies really exist anymore. They're media companies. And that's why the 360 deal, if you've ever heard of the 360 deal, does anybody know what a 360 deal is in music? Does that sound familiar? It has nothing to do with the Xbox. No, on 360. Not really. That's the old guarantees and advances. Laser like, well, guarantees I would look at guarantees from a live performance, and advances. Right. So no, that's different. That's what they're supposed to do and they don't do. What a 360 deal is I'm an artist. Let me say I'm like I got the hottest song everywhere right now. You guys all love it. It's on the radio, it's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, it's whatever. So I get signed, and the record company says, okay, great. We need to sign you to this deal, which is a 360 deal, which, by the way, different deals don't really exist any longer. They're all 360 deals. That's all that's available. They take a percentage of everything you do. If I own a pizza parlor, they take a percentage of the pizza parlor. Even if it has nothing to do with the music, they take a percentage of that. If I sign a $20 million deal with Coke or Pepsi, like Beyonce did, my record company takes a percentage of that. So they make money off everything. And what a record company really is, it's like a worse version of a game publisher. Like, right? So if you make Oh, it's a total scam. The music industry was really the recording industry was created by the mafia. If you look at the history of it, it's insane. The entertainment industry, really, the mass entertainment industry. But yeah, so you're paying everything. If I make like in theory, the 360 deal is like if my grandma gives me $100, I'm supposed to give 20 to my record company. I mean, it's not that crazy, but it is what it is. So yeah, everything. We always mention pizza. Well, pizza is a good thing because if you think of a 360 deal, anytime you order a pizza, think of a slice missing, or maybe three slices missing, or maybe half the pie's missing by the time it gets to you, right? So that's just how it works. On managing being one step removed from actual muscle, a thug. Yeah, I mean they are literally. Yeah, have been strong arming its main labor force since Tin Pan Alley, and they certain do. So what they are, a record label is like almost like an investment bank, but a worse deal than an investment bank in a way, right? And they also do things sometimes where they'll sign an artist that is in competition with one of their other artists in order to shelve that product. Does that make sense? So like if you take um I'm the hottest artist, Julia's really similar to me, and so she's starting to get a little bit of buzz and maybe she's getting really hot. So what we do is we sign Julia to a big recording contract, and then we take all of the music she does and we never release anything. And basically, she can't further her brand because we've now cut off her ability to make money. Yes, Rick Beato is an excellent resource. Definitely excellent resource. Yeah, so Dr. Mikachu, and I hate to say this, like you probably think I'm like making this stuff up. I wish that I was. I wish that I was. I try to think of music more like not necessarily like a startup, but like a company, a product or a service, whatever. And a record label should be like an investment bank. I would rather, if I had an album to promote and release, I would rather have just outside capital to work with. Because at the end of the day, once that outside capital's burned and the company goes bankrupt, it is what it is. Whereas a record label, they can keep you locked into that deal kind of indefinitely. It's standard corporate greed, but this is further than standard corp. This is worse than standard corporate greed. This is like next level of corporate greed. But it is what it is. Furoy was a super rapper and they buried all his work. Yeah. Look, I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I've seen a lot of crazy stuff. And some of it I can talk about and some of it I can't. But I can tell you that I've seen time and time again where stuff like this happens. And it just is what it is. So if you see an artist, Ozma J, thank you for the follow. If you see an artist that's out in the front of your mind or the front of your face all the time, believe that they are paying a lot of people's incomes. Like you see Lady Gaga, right? It's not Lady Gaga. It's Lady Gaga and 300 people. It's not Drake. It's Drake and 400 people. It's not Adele. It's Adele and 500 people. I'm just making up the numbers. But they're all splitting that. So a lot of times they'll say, well, I was broke off the album. Kanye West has said, I've never made a dime off an album. And he sold millions of albums. So it's crazy. And when they were selling records, what the record companies would always say, the line was, well, we make money off our catalog, meaning a record we recorded 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago that still sells, we're still taking all the money from that. The family may or may not be, who knows. So Jim Plays Game says, but isn't he incredibly rich? Well, okay, but he's not compared to the people who own the masters of his music, right? So let's refer it to the game industry. Julie and I are going to make a new game. It's going to be called the Not as Crimson Diamond. Really creative name. You like that?
Mm-hmm. I love it. We should just change it to this.
Yeah. The Blue Diamond. How about that? That's even better. That's a really great
Perfect.
title. Amazing title. And we get a publisher. And the publisher, the deal we sign with the publisher says that the publisher owns everything. They pay us a salary for the next 4 years. They give us budget to hire our team. But at the end of the day, if that game 30 years from now is still selling copies, then they're still making all the money from it. We may or may not have a clause in our deal that says we get a small percentage of it. The cobalt diamond? No, that would be stupidly valuable. Isn't cobalt like one of the most mined? They're trying to find cobalt all over the world right now. That's like the
There's a town in Ontario called Cobalt, Ontario,
ooh,
and guess what they mined there?
the cobalt diamond.
It's no, the element cobalt, and it's a ghost town now, I think. Oh,
Interesting. Can
yeah,
we go looking?
Labrador is also
We
really
should
good.
go fishing there and see if we can find any diamonds.
I just as an aside, we're gonna get to work eventually, I promise. No, I don't promise, but I hope. As an aside, so as an illustrator, what can happen is when people ask you how much something's going to cost, one of the questions you have to ask them is, well, what is this going to be used for, and how long? And so some people try to do is they try to say, okay, well, I'm going to try to make this as simple as possible, and I want to do a buyout, which means they want to own everything about it forever, and they could do whatever they want with it. And I have to very strongly discourage them from wanting that, because if they want that, guess what? I have to charge accordingly. And they probably don't have enough money to do it. They probably don't even think, they're probably not even planning on using it to an extent where they would make that worth it for themselves. So a huge aspect of it is asking them questions about, okay, so what is this going to be? Where is it going to be? Are you printing t-shirts of this? Is this going to be on a postage stamp? Is this going to be on the side of a bus? Where is this going to be? And is it going to be on there forever? Is this going to be on buses forever? You have to think about all these things. They have to too. And so what they think what they're doing is they're making it simpler for themselves to buy it out. But what that means is I have to charge them a heck of a lot of money because I have to protect myself from being exploited. I have to protect my artwork from being, from taken advantage of. There's
100%.
stories like this all over the place, right? Where you hear, okay, well, someone got $50 for the Nike logo or something. I think she's doing well, okay now, but I mean, you think about stories like that where you had this corporation and they own this thing outright and they get, the person got pennies or whatever, and they deserve much more. And so I'm lucky because I can set those terms for myself and I can walk away if I want. They can walk away if they want. But it's only ever happened once where someone did do the buyout, and I don't think they got their money's worth because it's when you say that, you're basically saying, yeah, I can do whatever forever, and that's expensive.
In
Just as an
perpetuity
aside.
would be the legal thing that they
Yes, in
use here.
perpetuity is exactly the legal term.
Perpetuity, and that's what it is. I remember reading or no, listening to a podcast with Corey Cole and Lori Cole. Sorry, Lori Cole and Corey Cole of they were working at Sierra. Now they're of Trans Solar Games. They're working on their own project. You guys probably know the Quest for Glory series. Corey said that the day after their deal expired with, I guess it turned into Activision, Quest for Glory collection appeared on GOG. The day
Hmm.
after that expired.
Hmm.
So there's somebody in that company looking to say, when does this deal expire? Because we're not going to touch it until that day. All right, cool. This day, boom. Now let's do it.
Yep.
Because they can't make any money. Now, I shouldn't go into this because this is going to be a long, long rant, but it is what it is. The
Hmm.
key is to be, Alec Guinness negotiated for 2% of Star Wars in perpetuity. That's insanity because
That
that's a
is
great
insanity.
deal. That's a great deal.
Sometimes you get lucky. You just never know.
Annie Lennox said never sign anything that has the phrase. Listen, there's times that you can sign it. There are times, and there are just I don't think the vast majority of AAA game composers are signing anything but in perpetuity deals.
Yeah.
I don't think
Yep.
they're available. So you could say no and they'll say, okay, cool. We'll get somebody else to do it. I mean, that's the reality unless you've established yourself as some, John Williams of the game industry, a Austin Wintory or something, like maybe, and I'm not even sure he's getting it. Maybe he's asking for it, you know. The
I think
George
I'm gonna
Foreman grill
sneeze.
is a
I gotta
different story.
mute.
What's that?
I'm gonna sneeze. No way, it's gone. I just
Look
I
at the
got
light.
confused because I couldn't mute it, and now it's gone.
Look at the light. That always helps me.
No, that's supposed to make you sneeze, and I don't want to sneeze.
Yeah. Kisai Tenshi says, I probably wouldn't recommend signing him. Well, look, now we're getting into the legal aspect, And all I should say about that is, if you have to get to that point, you have to get an attorney to read it properly. I don't love dealing with attorneys, but they are a necessary evil, right? So that's just kind of how it goes. And I'm sorry if any of you are attorneys here. No offense to you. I like most of you. No, I'm just kidding. I
You're
like
just
I
kidding.
like you guys.
Okay.
But yeah, as soon as it gets to that point, you definitely want to be consulting attorneys because you never know. She's talking about when she was Annie Lennox the waitress, not Annie Lennox the goddess of contraltos. Yeah, she's quite a singer. My favorite Annie Lennox tune is the one she did on Herbie Hancock's Possibilities album. I think the song's called Hush, Hush, Hush. And it's amazing until you learn about what the song's really about. And I'm not going to talk about it because it's really depressing. It's sad, but it's moving. So if you're interested, the song is called Hush, Hush, Hush by Annie Lennox. And I think she did it on another album, but the cool one was with Herbie Hancock on the Possibilities album, which came out like 10 or 12 years ago.
My favorite Annie Lennox song is Walking on Broken Glass, and I love the music video because it has Hugh Laurie and John Malkovich in it.
Nice.
Yes.
What year was that released?
I don't know.
Okay.
You
For
didn't
now,
seriously think I'd know the answer, did you?
no, I don't know. Yeah. Lays, it's really, music is really, 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 really difficult. It's, it's just, that's what it boils down to. Like, I do, my weeks are insanity, and that's to basically make sure that the lights stay on, the mortgage is paid, or the rent before the rent was paid, that the baby has diapers and wipes, and beyond that, anything else is like, hey, that's kind of how it goes. So we'll see. We'll see if my career stays there, or if I just jump ship completely and decide that, you know what, I'm going into, you know, programming or software development or something and get out of it completely. But that's another story entirely. Jim plays games. Wouldn't it be nice if artists could just create art and not have to navigate this kind of business nonsense? Oh, that's the dream utopia. Sadly, I don't think it exists. It's like, what do they say always say about communism? It works on paper. That's the same kind of deal. It works on paper, but this is not how art goes. So interestingly enough, I wonder if I could share or should share briefly. I had shared a
Sure.
couple of weeks ago on stream a promotional video that I was working on for a track that I had done. Let's see. Your videos. Let me see if I can share this and see if you guys can hear it. Okay. I'll put it full screen there. I'll go to Firefox there. Hopefully it loads. Yes, with the crazy retro games. I think I finished it. I might have to tweak one or two things, and you guys can let me know what you think. This is the they use it for the podcast, but it's the theme for the Long Island Retro Gaming Expo, which I am a part of. I am one of the, I don't know, I'm the PC gaming coordinator, I guess is the title. I have it on a business card. I think it's PC
Nice.
gaming coordinator. I have it somewhere. Let's see if this actually plays. Boom, and there it is. Let's see here. Let's go back to the Julian Dan split. Thanks, Dr. Mikachu. Did Romero authorize the Doom footage? Well, guess what? He can't. You know why? because he does not own those rights. That is owned by a company called Bethesda Software. So that would have to be that. That would authorize, if they did authorize that kind of footage. Did Mega Hammer show you his mock-up for Retro Music Theory streaming? No, he didn't. So hopefully he'll show up. He lost those rights long before that when he left id Software. I'm not sure that he left, but either way, John Carmack, none of the original founders of id Software are currently owners of any of the IP of id Software. So that's the deal. And they I don't know. That's all in the book. Read the Masters of Doom book. But that's what I was talking about. That's precisely what I was talking about. So Doom, a franchise that still exists. Wolfenstein, a franchise that still exists. Quake, I think Quake still exists. I'm not sure. Maybe Quake's finished. No, they still do like Quake Champions and stuff, don't they? Anyway, that and then what's the other one? Wolfenstein. That's all Commander Keen. All of these IPs are still in existence. And, I can't speak on what that means for John, but I'm certain he does not own the IP for any of that stuff. That's owned by a larger conglomerate that purchased it or bought it out or whatever. And Ion Storm, all of those things are now owned by somebody else as well. Yeah, and interesting. You like the modulation, Judith Butler's lover says. Did I do a modulation? I think just the bridge. I think that's what you referred to. Thank you. Either way, thank you. So anyway, my goal with this video was to show off two things. One, I felt like you could listen to that song by itself, right? We could play it right now and you could just stare at Julie and myself kind of staring off into space. And that might be interesting, because we're really, really amazing, beautiful people. But it also might be like kind of boring. So we're kind of like, well, let me present a video that might be more interesting instead of nothing. So I felt that this song presented itself well with these retro games, but I also wanted to be attentive to developers' wants and needs. So a developer might not be aware of Doom. I mean, Doom might be pushing it, but some of the games in there they won't care about or be aware of. Like Street Fighter 2, sure, they love it, but like, dude, that was 30 years ago. Like, get into like the modern era. It's 2020. Nobody cares about Street Fighter 2 Turbo now except the retro nerds. And that was kind of my thinking. So as I went on, I used newer and newer games, even though they were in a retro style. Some were like one or two of them are not even released. They're in like early access on either Steam or Xbox or something. So yeah, with Doom with kittens would be awesome. E1M1, but it meows instead of distorted guitars. Yeah, right. And yes, Feroy, I did see the Doom pregnancy test. And Kisai says, didn't they put out a Commander Keen mobile game a little while back? So they'd never put out the game. Bethesda advertised it, and I think, I could be wrong, but I think they got such bad backlash from it that I think they canceled it. I could be wrong about that, but I get the impression they canceled it. I actually spoke with Tom Hall after that and did get to ask him that question, but I don't believe that opinion is public, so I'll leave that to you to hit him up on Twitter or something and ask him what he thinks. But I think what happened was, as I understand it, they canceled it. That's why they kind of just, oh yeah, by the way, no, we're not doing this. Because it was bad. They're like, this is not going to do well. People are not going to like this game. Because it looked nothing like the Commander Keen any of us would know about, right? Right, like Blizzard announcing Diablo for mobile, and everybody, the first question at the BlizzCon was like, is this a joke? Is this April Fool's or something? Like, are you kidding? Like, no, we're not kidding. Well, you are now. Did they cancel that, by the way, Feroy? Did they cancel it? Interestingly enough, if you guys notice, Nintendo has now left the mobile space. They're not making any more. I don't know if they're going to continue to have their games on there, but they're not making any more Nintendo for mobile. Not canceled, but not out yet either. And it was supposed to be released last year, beginning of this year. So anyway, the mobile market is toxic. Yeah, I don't know anything about it there. I'm sure it is big in Japan, but I get the feeling Nintendo has the tightest grip on IP of anyone, I would think, from hardware to software. So, and there's another good story. id Software built Commander Keen off of a Super Mario 3 demo that they made. If you watch the Netflix special recently, or if you read the book, they made a Super Mario 3 demo that worked on PC, which was an unbelievable feat at the time. Nintendo loved it, and do you know why they said, no, we are not interested? They said, we are not interested in using anybody else's hardware.
Hmm.
Or they said, we're not interested. Their way of saying it was, we're not interested in developing other platforms, meaning they want to sell their consoles.
Mm-hmm.
It's similar to what Apple does, right? So Apple makes a computer. They make an audio software called Logic. Lace will be familiar with this. Logic is only available on Mac.
Hmm.
They purchased it from a developer many, many years ago, and they've drastically improved it. Why do they give free classes on Logic at the Apple Store? Why do they give free classes on any of the Mac software at the Apple Store? What benefit does it have to them? Anybody? This should be an easy one.
Well, it's to keep you committed and tied into that whole system.
Exactly. You have to buy their hardware. They don't care. Like their software, I mean, Logic is $200, which is really not that expensive in terms of the grand scheme of things, because Pro Tools is more than that for just 1 year of subscription. Yep. And you can't run Mac unless you're running a Hackintosh, which is impossible in a professional situation. You have to buy a Mac. Same with the iPhone. I don't know where the hell I put my phone, but I have phones here somewhere. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and we can address the Adobe subscription model and why I'm still using CS2.
Well, we had somebody from Adobe here before, right?
Yes, yes, we did
So,
too.
and
Two.
I'm sure they would have plenty of insight. And from the flip side, if I were Adobe, I would want to do exactly what they're doing, right?
Oh, sure.
That would definitely be how I would roll. I would love to get you locked in to play my game on only my platform,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like the Switch. How many did they say the Switch is it the best-selling console of all time now? I think they
No
sold
idea.
some crazy number of millions of Switches. Or Sonic CD was originally a Sega CD game. Let's see. I just can't
Hey,
stand the
Rodrigo
ads.
Borgia, thanks for the follow, by the way, and thanks for coming into stream.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, but yeah, Proto Man, that's just a port. That's just them exploiting the ownership of the IP for many years, right? I'm full of semi-related anecdotes today. Me too, Judith Butler's lover. That's my whole thing. You seen the average professional full-time working Japanese animator is paid? No, I have no idea. I have no idea. Yeah, I mean that's what it is. So. Rodrigo Borgia. Wow, he's still alive? Jeez. That's pretty impressive. I love that name, by the way, and I've watched that TV show they did on I think it was called The Borgias, right? Pope what is his Pope name? Pope Pius the Ninth, or something like that. Pope somebody the 12th. I don't know. $600 a month in Japan. They live on the street.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I
That's
don't even know
crazy.
if you could buy breakfast in Japan for that much money. It's not cheap. I mean, is it cheap to live outside Tokyo? I don't
It
think
can
so.
be, yeah, yeah,
Can it
it can
be?
definitely be cheap.
Okay.
Here's the thing with Japan. It's got an aging population. There's a lot of small towns and little villages that have declining population. There's a lot of empty houses. So if you work
Mm.
completely remotely, it's entirely feasible to move to Japan and live in a picturesque, beautiful little Japanese village that still has good access to transit.
What the hell am
And
I
there's
doing here? I'll see you later.
what's
I'm
yeah,
out.
no,
I'm
I'm
going to
telling you.
Japan right now.
It's a thing. It's really a thing. And it's like Totoro or something. Like you live in a little adorable place and everyone's very nice because they're trying to encourage, they're trying to encourage revitalization of the towns and stuff like that. But there's just not enough people. So if you just work remotely and you can live wherever, it's totally doable.
Interesting. Yeah, I think that may be one of my future goals for myself is to be able to work remotely because as wonderful as it's been traveling to a lot of countries over the past 12 years, 15 years, it's also very tiring and it's very expensive. I live in one of the more expensive places in the United States, and I hear a lot from new composers or new musicians, I should say, like, dude, should I move to New York? Should I move to LA? I'm like, why? One guy had a job offer from a university somewhere in the Midwest, and I was like, take the job in the Midwest. Like,
Hmm.
that's a no-brainer. Do you want to come here and suffer and live in, like a roach-infested basement, or do you want to live in like, a comfortable apartment where you can walk around, and have a salary? Like, there's a big difference. So I don't know. 90% of animation studios are in Tokyo. They don't live. They have another full-time job that pays the bills. That's insane.
Yeah, they that would not be remote work for sure.
Yeah. Unless you've got something lined up in a big city at a AAA studio, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Well, I don't know if that's true, Lace. The studio I'm doing work for is not a AAA studio. It's it's an indie studio. If you're talking about specifically composers, it's a different thing, I guess. But the studio that I'm working at, there's a number of full-time employees there that are able to afford, they're making livings, right? They're not suffering. They're paying their employees to be able to live. I don't know if they pay better than the average company or whatever, but yeah, Midwest is okay. Can confirm. Yeah, I mean, listen, I look at real estate all over the world all the time.
Hmm.
I don't know why. Have I ever sent you any stuff, Julia? Random
I don't
random real
think so
estate.
actually.
Okay. Brenda Romero sends me random like Irish places all the time because she's
Hmm.
been trying to entice me to move to Ireland where their studio is located. And it's beautiful. I mean, I'm like,
Hmm.
man, and it's cheaper than where I live. And the taxes, I think the taxes are still rough. But either way, I'm already there. So, Rick, Classic Gamers Guild,
Yes,
thank you
thanks for
for,
coming.
for thank you for coming. When you're a freelance, it's a lot easier to balance your budget in a cheaper city. No doubt. No doubt.
Hmm.
You know what it is? When you're freelance, and I don't know, Julie's been freelance for a long time too. Basically, the way I've always done it is I assume that I have no money all the time.
Yep, yep,
I act like that.
yep.
So if I'm always assuming that, and it's changed a little bit since I got married and have a house and a baby and all these things. But when I was starting out, I was assuming that I had no money. I was like, nope, I got nothing. I can't afford it. There you go. Sam Tacky knows
Yes.
exactly what I'm talking about because he lives in
Hey,
my
hey,
old
Sam.
neighborhood. So what's up, bro? Good to have you here. Taxes are really, really high here. They evade the labor laws by technically hiring them as freelancers. Is that in Japan you're talking about? That's crazy.
Hmm. That's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, here, the way I make money before pre pandemic is by performing. So if somebody calls me to perform and the fee is right, I'm going. I don't care what it's for, you know? I don't care what it's for.
Oh well, yeah, I forgot this
Should
is
we
a
play
music
should
stream,
we
Dan.
play
Do
a
you want
little
to do
music?
some of that?
Yeah, let's not get too dark cuz I think at the end of the day, let me not paint a bad picture. I think at the end of the day it's really positive. I think there's opportunities. The question is, how do we take advantage of the opportunities? Like Lace took a risk. And did it pay off? Well, directly, no. But did it pay off in the long run? I believe it did. I believe it paid off for all of us. Maybe we can support her by buying her music or maybe potentially hiring her for a project. But yeah, I mean, I think there was benefit to it, even if you don't see those results now, you know? So you love these chat streams about business. I do and I don't. Keyside, thank you for the follow, by the way. I do and I don't. But it's just a necessary evil. And Lace said, I meant to ask about the MT32. I heard it was a Rompler, but the wiki page says it has a linear synthesis capabilities like the D50. Yes. It is the baby handicapped version of the D50. The D50 actually is still a usable keyboard today. The MT32 is not usable if it wasn't for Al Lowe and Ken Williams back in the late 80s, kind of pushing for this to be part of their thing, right? So, yeah, it has synth capabilities, but they're on the limited side. Um, I don't know. It's interesting. So, let's see. I like how we wandered every topic eventually. Yeah, Furroy, that's why we're always in the same damn streams. Like we're not even just mine. But Dr. Mikachu really is probably my current favorite streamer.
Oh.
Because she's taught me a lot of stuff, and I'm just sitting there bugging her with stupid newbie questions all the time, and I like it. I enjoy it. So
I
I
noticed you
like
didn't say
that.
me, by the way, but whatever,
What?
it's fine.
You? Oh, you mean counting us? I don't know. Can we count ourselves? Do we
Well,
count?
no, but I stream by myself sometimes, and you
Yeah,
get
but I
questions.
just bother you the whole time.
Well, that's true.
I just try
You
to
don't learn
derail
anything
the
from me,
stream.
so
I just try to derail the stream, just like I do on our own streams when we're streaming together. I do it the same way. So it still sounds really pleasing coming from someone who loves the SE88. So the SE88 and that series of synthesizers, the Sound Canvas synthesizers, came right on the heels of the MT32 being phased out. So the problem with the MT32, which is also the reason we're using it, it fits perfectly the period of time that we're emulating with, even though it's a modern game, that we're emulating with the Crimson Diamond. And I say we very loosely because Julia had this whole thing planned out way before I joined the fold. Yep, and Monkey Island is probably the best, arguably the best MT32 soundtrack. You could debate that. That's Julia's favorite game soundtrack, even though she says to me she does not like Caribbean music.
I changed my mind I told you I changed my mind that's not longer my favorite because then you can't trouble me anymore.
Wait,
Do you know any Monkey Island music? You didn't last time. Oh my goodness.
I don't know. I kind of know it.
No, you don't.
That's the wrong key, but yeah, whatever. So
Wow.
what happens is I don't play it. I don't get paid to play it. I get paid to play all kinds of other stuff you guys don't want to hear.
People might get the impression that you don't actually play music. I mean, I would if I was here watching you listen to us.
They probably think I'm like what? Like a pencil pusher or something.
Yeah. You collect video games and you talk music. Hey, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Yay, thanks for the cheers. He can play occasionally. I mean, if you force him, they're really ass nice.
Anybody know that song? Nobody.
No.
They like the patch. You'll never guess the artist either. Twitch will not pick it up. Wow. Illy Swank. Yeah, bro.
Really?
Miley Cyrus.
Huh.
Nice job, man. What's the song? I'm impressed. Illy Swank is a good friend, close friend of mine, another collector. Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
Wow, you guys.
I never hit so here before. Hard before. Yeah, close enough. With the wrong song name. So just for that, because I told Illy Swank at the beginning of the stream, he's been here for all 1 hour, 46 minutes, and 30 minutes of that was your stream. So I got to show off. I told him I would show off a mint uh,
Oh no.
Game Boy game.
Okay.
So I got a big pickup of games. Well, I've been buying a lot of games and selling a lot of games recently. But let's show off something.
Okay.
How
I
about
thought I
one?
thought Sam said you should play more in
He did.
general.
Well, let's see if I can play any of these songs.
Yeah, Dave went to swag stream for sure. Dan cannot resist.
No, this is what I love. I mean, do you see what's behind me, first of all? Do you know what this is? This is not record albums.
I know.
Oh. Here's a game with songs that I cannot play. And I
Yeah,
got this.
that
I
one.
was lucky to get this. This is only the box, and it's also the Macintosh version. But I didn't own a copy of this, so I just said, you know what, box is nice. I'll buy it.
I have the hint book,
You do? That's really tough to find too.
isn't it?
All it came with is the Dial-A-Pirate wheel.
Hmm.
No discs, no anything.
Okay, show us the mint. Go
Okay,
on. Can we do music after though if we show the mint?
maybe. I got so much to show off here. There's so much good stuff.
Goodness.
Well, I'll take one that people love music. Yeah. See, thanks, Davor. Oh, you're welcome, Dr. Mikachu. Yes. No, I'm not BSing you either. I really do enjoy it. I'm
It's
looking
really
forward to
helpful too. Yeah.
Thursday. I'm looking forward to Thursday with the design document because that's stuff I want to learn about.
Okay, so tell us about this mint cartridge. Did you get it off eBay?
No. I actually got it from this guy, William Cage,
Okay.
who is a composer slash game designer slash engine programmer. And this shirt is for supporters on his Patreon. I'm not actually on his Patreon, but I bought a lot of games off him over the years, and he's using all that money um, to work on his game, which is pretty cool. And his game is his
Awesome.
game and engine are both free. Six Engine is basically an engine to do this game right here, better known as Final Fantasy III.
Oh wow. So Judith Butler's lover says she's not gonna lie, Dan. She likes you more now that she knows you don't have
Oh,
absolute
not
chips.
even close, man. I'm no, but my ear is strong when playing. But no, I have no idea about
And I'm sorry
keys
if
and
I
stuff like
gendered
that.
you incorrectly, Judith Butler's lover, because I don't actually know if you're she or he or however.
She is he or she is trolling her friend. That's what's important. Yeah.
Yes.
So FF6, aka Final Fantasy III on Super Nintendo. It was actually Final Fantasy VI in Japan, and then they corrected the name here for the Game Boy Advance release. This is probably a favorite soundtrack of many people, but this engine, which is available on Six Engine, I think sixengine.com or williamcage.com, you can actually build Final Fantasy style games in a browser for free using this engine.
Oh wow.
And so he sent me a couple of pieces of swag as well. He sent me physical releases of soundtracks that he'd
Wow.
worked on, and he does a lot of Super Nintendo music. But the interesting thing about him is he's really not a musician, even though or at least he says that he's not a musician. Like he's not a trained musician. Um, so it's interesting. He's pretty cool dude, and I look forward. He was at our Long Island Retro Gaming Expo in 2019, and I'm sure he'll be back soon when we have it physically again. He does
Have you
like
shown the cartridge yet?
a vendor booth. Yeah, I don't want to show the cartridge. I wanted to show this, the box.
Oh, because it's shrink wrapped still or what?
No, it's not. No, it's not sealed or anything like
Oh,
that.
okay.
And then one more, which
Okay.
everybody loves. I'm not really a big fan, but everybody loves this.
Okay.
Pokemon Yellow. And this is just a
All
really,
right.
really, really, really nice condition Game Boy box. Very hard to find in good condition. So that's something that I like And Illy Swank is probably responsible for me loving all this Mint stuff. He's a Mint Nintendo PlayStation. He collects a lot of games too. Yeah. Is that the actual one? What do you mean? The actual game? The actual original? Yeah, definitely. This is all original stuff. I'm not going to open it right now because I'll bust it up on stream. But yeah, all the
Oh,
stuff I have is the original stuff.
are you a Pikachu? Are you a Pokemon person?
Not at all.
So why do you have it?
Well, it was part of the lot that
Okay.
he was selling, and I just love the way
Okay.
it looks, so I'll take it. Dave Ware, there's a good chance I have a ton of good condition GBA boxes at my parents' house. Well, hit me up on Twitter, bro. I try hard to play the plot of Kingdom Hearts to my husband. I eventually bought a bundle. We played them and we still can't explain the plot. When did Dan turn into Simpsons Store collector guy? So here's the thing. I probably always kind of was. We've had this. What do we say, Julia? That I'm nerdier than you by far.
Oh yeah. Yeah, way nerdier and way cooler at the same time, but I'm super more square than you.
She's more square, but somehow I'm nerdier. That's
Yeah,
weird. How does that
it's
work?
super unfair.
And it's true. I mean, I'm definitely nerdier, for
Oh
sure.
yeah.
Like it's not even a question.
No, no, no. Not even close.
Is that an if-then statement, or is that a function? Jim plays games. Nerdy equals cool. See, nerdy. There you go. There it goes. Oh, and this is something, by the way, I've been working on Pico 8. If anybody knows about the Pico 8, I've been working on learning game programming there, and I was able to find the I've kind of figured out the music thing. The tempos aren't exact and accurate, but I can actually play some of the Crimson Diamond theme via Pico 8, and I've already done it. You think it's tough to learn programming there? It seems pretty easy to me. I don't know. Interesting. I can't imagine working in those limitations though. Well, I think that's the point for me. But I think it's good because I don't want the ability to do everything. I want like the art I can actually make. Like I sent Julia art and she's like, "Oh, did you make that?" She'd never said that it was like the most amazing art she'd ever seen, but she recognized the shapes I was trying to portray, which is a good
Hey,
thing.
that's important.
No. Load stuff into your RAM. No. Holy cow. That sounds like assembly. No, definitely not. It's very like it's Lua light. So, yeah, no. It's not at all. Writing music for the NES. So, if you're actually writing for the NES, that's really difficult cuz all the NES is 6502, and I think the only way to really do most of that stuff is assembly. I don't know. I think NES games are really tough to make, as I understand it. Pico 8 it doesn't sound modern. Certainly the Pico 8 synthesizer is very, very limited. Yeah. Oh yeah, Fama Tracker. Yep. So let's switch over. Big Julia. How about the two of us? There we go. So I'm using Pro Tools here for those of you guys that don't know. And I'm sending to a real MT32. So I have to actually send via MIDI channel. And Pro Tools sucks at using MIDI, especially when you're sending to an external MIDI device because nobody uses them in 2020, but I am.
This is his idea, by the way. Don't
What's that?
think this is not something I asked you to do. This was completely your idea.
No, so yes, that's true. So let's talk about that. Why do we use the MT32? Why do we use a box from 1987 that's clunky, that has old, outdated software? And because it fits perfectly the game that Julia has been working on. Why? This is I would say, probably the number one source of inspiration for the Crimson Diamond. Is that
Mhm.
fair to say?
Mhm.
And it sounds best on an MT32. It did not support general MIDI yet, so you could not use something like a Sound Canvas or any other MIDI synthesizer. At the time, the MT32 was literally the best available. And I think we've played it in the past where we've done the Space Quest 3 theme with MT32 versus Amiga versus, that was maybe one of our early streams, versus Adlib synthesizer, which most of us heard. So anyway, yeah.
Judith Butler's lover said because Dan needed an excuse to buy it. That's why we're using it.
Uh, I would have bought it anyway. Had I never worked on games, I was going to buy one of these things
Are you? Oh my gosh.
just to
Okay.
use on my old retro games, because for the same reason I have an Apple II GS sitting 6 feet to my right, 10 feet to my right, and 486 and a Pentium 2 and all these nerdier. So yes, the same reason EJA palette on a system capable of 4 billion colors. Exactly. See? Dan, can't you just take the game out of the boxes? No, because then I'd have to put them back. And I don't clean well. I saw something. Yeah. So anyway, the MT32. So you would have resorted to MT32 emulation or an Integra 7. Well, an Integra 7's like still a couple $1,000s, isn't it? And the MT32 emulation works okay. It actually sounds really great. But I was having a lot of trouble getting it to work properly, especially on stream. It's really clunky to get kind of all married together. If I owned, well, the Roland Cloud does not have the MT32. And I do have a D50. I do have a Roland V-Synth, and I own the D50 card that goes in there. But it's way more advanced than the MT32. So, yeah, Lace, if you're really interested in it, you should watch. Julia, can you link maybe to the YouTube where we did the video of what the hell am I thinking of? We did the video of the DOS stuff, the Windows 3.1 stuff, the really nerdy with the MT32 programming, where we were trying to do the sound effects and the libraries, and I was showing everybody all the sounds and stuff.
Okay, let me see if I can find that.
Yeah, if you can find it, or if anybody else can find it on the YouTube. I just thought it fit the game perfectly. Like, my initial thought was, yeah, I can use a whole bunch of old school MIDI synths and it'll sound great. And then I'm like, dude, no, you can't do that. Has to be MT32. Otherwise, it's just like kind of like a half-assed soundtrack that you threw together because it was easy. Instead, no, you got to program an MT32 on the YouTube. Dan is really old. On the internet. What do you guys use? GeoCities? What's the things now? Yeah, that kind of stuff. Did anybody ever use the search engine Dogpile, by the way? I love that one. What happened to that?
What happened to it?
There was a search engine called Dogpile. It was
Okay.
awesome. It was before Google. Or maybe it wasn't before Google. It was just when Google wasn't that popular.
This, oh, this is unlisted. Is it too late for me to say sorry?
Nice one, Mousimus.
It was this one.
That's another Canadian for you, by the way.
Mm.
A famous Canadian.
Got famous on YouTube, as a matter of fact. Isn't that something?
That's right. He was probably the original YouTube superstar. He may have been the first, or he's one of the first. Yeah, I'm a fan of his music. By the way, I played that Miley Cyrus song earlier. Has anybody ever heard her speak? She just did a
No.
podcast recently with Joe Rogan, but if you ever hear her voice, she has a very deep voice.
Okay.
Very, very deep. But I met her in person in LA 2013 or 14 or something, and I remember just it being distinct. A lot of times when I meet singers and I hear them just talk, I'm like, "Oh, wow." You hear almost like extra harmonics in their voice,
Oh yes.
and
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
just tell that this is why this person has
Hmm.
they have a voice. Sometimes they're not singers, sometimes they're, speakers or actors or whatever,
Hmm.
and they have that ability as well. But she's one of those. She can really, really sing. She's super talented. So you can hate on Miley all you want. You can say she's done dumb stuff or whatever. Sure, maybe, but she is very talented. I will not say the same thing about certain other artists, but we don't have to go into. We'll keep it positive here.
We'll keep it positive.
Yeah, Miley's talented. Let's not take that away from her.
So Dan, did you want to show what we're going to be doing
I
today?
do. Yep. And how do I do that? Can
I
I
mean,
do
it's only
that
been two
here?
hours, so I don't know. When you want to, like, I think you're warmed up by now. You played a few things.
It's going to be a little tricky for me to try to split. Whoops. To try to split back between the game and the composing, but I'll see if I can do it. Let's see here.
Well, I can always share my screen, but you won't have the audio, which is fine because we're going to be replacing it anyway.
Yeah, why don't you do that? That might actually be easier because
Perfect.
it's just really clunky for me to do it.
No problemo. Yeah.
Yes, I can. For you, Sean, anything, bro. Is this the new Crimson tune? Yes,
Hey,
definitely.
Grindislav.
Grundislav is here? Oh, man. But Dan, I love talking about bad people. You know what? You really don't, though. You're like one of the most positive dudes I've ever met.
Yeah, Francisco, you're super nice. I hate to break it to you.
And let's also shout out Francisco because if you guys don't know who Grundislav is, he is Grundislav Games, aka Francisco Gonzalez, the
Mm-hmm.
developer of most recently Lamplight City, but currently Rosewater is in development, and there is a playable demo on Steam.
Yes,
And
and you can wishlist his that demo. You
the
can
game.
wishlist the game
Yep.
on Steam as well.
Yep.
And there is the link to Rosewater.
Awesome. Rosewater is looking really good. It's sounding really good. And a week or two ago, we played, no longer than that, a stream or two ago, we played some of the music that Mark Bennis composed and Francisco actually performed on the
Yes.
didgeridoo or large blowgun, whichever you prefer. And it was really cool. The demo is expired. Oh. Okay, so it
Well,
was
wishlist
only
it anyway.
it was only playable during Gamescom.
I
Gotcha.
see.
No problemo. But you can still wishlist the game. You can still follow him on Twitter, which probably is where you get most of the updates on the game. And you can watch his streams too. Francisco does a lot of art streaming. I think he'll be on tomorrow, right?
Yes,
Around
that's as usual. I don't know if it is scheduled like
around
this. It's
midday usually, or
yeah, Western
thereabouts.
Wednesdays. Yeah,
Western
afternoons.
Wednesdays. Yep.
Yep.
Sweet. So with a friend, the game was about baseball. I love sports games. To be honest, that's like my favorite genre probably. Most played genre, I think.
But Dr. Mikachu, I don't know if you know this or not, but you should. But I know that your followers for your channel, they've raised enough for you to do a karaoke night. And
Oh
Twitch
yeah.
streams apparently is going offline January 1st of next year. They're going to stop doing it. So just to let you know, there is a deadline for you to fulfill that promise that you made.
Wow, you just put her on blast.
Yes.
The
So
poor
double check that,
doctor.
but I got an email from them and I think it's just a general email. You might not have got it or whatever. But anyway, just so you know, there is a ticking clock there.
Let's put up some sharks for there. By the way, my daughter's like favorite song every day now. Baby Shark. Baby Shark. That's all she says. What do you want to listen to? Baby Shark. So I sing her various songs. She loves to sing. I sing her various songs and she just tells me no. If she's not feeling that song, I say, like the wheels on the bus. No. No. Okay. This one. No. How about Five Little Ducks? Okay, I'll deal with that one. I like that one right now. And then, what do you want to watch on TV? Do you want to watch Little Baby Bum? Baby Bum. No, but now it's just Baby Shark. Every 2 seconds, Baby Shark. And the Baby Shark she watches is like some different thing. Anyway, I'm actually surprised that on Dr. Mikachu's stream we haven't seen. There's no shark interruption that has Baby Shark, is there? Or maybe I haven't just been watching enough. Ah, here we are in the game. And Julia, can you give us just a little bit of background maybe on this part and just leading up to this scene and what's going on, what's happening here?
Sure. Yeah, so this scene that we're going to be scoring today is it's basically just an Easter egg thing that I put in the game because something similar is in the Colonel's Bequest, and I love that game so much, and I added this bit in this game before I started being more serious about deadlines, and at the time I was kind of just putting in whatever that I wanted to without any idea of is this going to be in the storyline or is this anything important that I should actually be working on. So that happened in those golden times when I was just kind of really fiddling with it, and just making it do what I wanted it to do. So it's not really relevant to the story. It's not really a spoiler. It's just a fun little death that you can experience in the game.
Rodrigo Borges says the mirror reflection is a great touch.
Thank you. This is thanks to Grindislav. He shared the code that I needed to implement this with, and it's great. But the problem is it actually ended up being a lot more work than I was expecting because there are some animations like when she washes her hands or opens the cupboard that are blocking animations, they're called. So all other game processes stop until the animation is run. And this mirror thing that's happening right now is obviously it's running constantly. So if you do a blocking animation, then it stops running. And so I had to make up this workaround to get it so that she can do those blocking animations.
Can you talk
Well,
about that? I'm not actually sure what a blocking
okay, so
animation is.
for instance, so right now, if I tell her to wash her hands, she washes her hands. So right now, what you're seeing is no longer the mirror coding that's happening. This is me faking the mirror.
Gotcha. You just added it to an animation or something.
Yeah, and you can see there was a bit of a stutter there. There's sometimes happens, sometimes it doesn't happen. And so what I had to do was when she's in front of the mirror performing that action, I had to completely replace the animated sprite separate, it's completely separate thing. And
So
then
you
when it
just
comes back, it comes back.
gotcha. So that's
And
actually a totally different sprite that we're seeing when you
yes,
animate
it's
it.
just being
Wow.
replaced.
Gotcha.
And
I
so
get
every
that.
time there was something, even for instance, like let's say I have Nancy close the door, that the, there's a different thing I had to do for workaround to do that, to get her to walk and then also then close the door and have that animation still persist of wherever you happen to be in the room and you go to close the door or open the door. That'll happen properly. So that's another thing I had to solve for. And so it ended up being so much crazy work, but it's one of those things where it's just so cool that I couldn't not do it.
Well, and this stuff is totally out of my league, but it's totally in the league of all most, if not all, the people in our chat, except for me and Sam Tacky and Illy Swank. But everybody else, this is right up their alley
Yeah,
or stuff they
so
know.
every room that's got a mirror, there's so much more code in those rooms because I did these each thing individually, and I'm not a good enough coder to make this efficient. So yeah, every time, I had to every action that goes into something like that. We open a door, or you can go or flush the toilet or something. She has to. I have to take that into account. So every action has a special other bit of code that calls some other part, and it's more complicated than I would have liked. But
It's not something you
three.
can give us a little quick explanation on other than what you have done already, right?
Well, it's just a matter of having repeatedly executing script, and then when it's okay. Well, for instance, this particular thing. So let's say she's in front of the mirror wherever,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go to have her open the door. I have it so it repeatedly executes until she hits that coordinate. Then when she hits that coordinate,
It's
then
a
I have her
new
open the
sprite.
door. But if it's repeatedly executing, it would just have her opening the door over and over and over again. So you
Gotcha.
have to have like like, oh, she's opened the door equals true now. So now the animation stops.
Gotcha.
And
Interesting.
then, so that happens. So then I can go back and I can close the door, and she'll go back and she'll hit that mark, and then it triggers she's closed the door now and whatever. So it's like a once thing
That's
that you have
amazing.
to trigger. So it's kind
And
of a giant hassle, and it's just more like grunt work than anything. I wasn't clever about it, so I did it for everything that way.
speaking of not being clever, look at Eden Waith's comment right there. Truly efficient code
Oh
must be
yeah,
in assembly. He's actually not wrong, but come on.
yeah,
Not all of us are Eden Waith. But yeah, it's true. I mean, this is stuff that you wouldn't think about. It's behind the scenes stuff that you wouldn't think about. But again, oh God, that must have been a pain too.
yeah, exactly. That was also a pain. It was also a pain to do. All those had to be just their own separate thing. And then when I have her, you can have her undress. And so
Hey, how
yes,
you
here's
doing?
again, right? And now you have to have the animation where, okay, well, what if she goes to open the
Oh
door?
man.
I have to take that into account so she's not moving,
And
right?
if this was like a certain game, like they just say, oh, the mirror's cracked, it's really fogged over, something like that, to just get out of the, design it out of design the programming away, essentially. I don't know,
Hmm.
Dr. Mikachu, how would you approach that? Try to design it away, or if it was causing too much problems, or
Well, here's the thing. So, Furai's asking about, Edenway's asking about her washing her hands. Now, she won't do it because you need both hands, right, to wash her hands. But she will open the cupboard because it only takes one hand.
gotcha. So
You see?
she's not preventing herself from spreading any kind of disease by only washing a single hand. However, she is going to take a shower, so in theory, she should be clean after that point.
Yeah, but in order to lather your hands together, you need both hands, and she's holding her towel up with one hand that she's got
Right.
wrapped
So
around her.
Furoi said that's a good point. So what Furoi just said, yeah, if you put the mirror on a sidewall, you can barely see the surface.
Yeah, yeah, I have one
Cheating.
that is on a sidewall, and it was a lot of trouble trying. It was easier to get it to line up like this, straight on, than when it's on an angle. Because actually, I
Gotcha.
can show you that because that is in another room, and I can warp us there because I'm a genie developer. Um, but there is one in this room, a sideways window, sideways mirror. And so yeah, this was another look. This was really annoying to do too because you got this animation happening where Margot is here, and
Wow.
you walk around behind her. You can get her to give you something, and then everything had to be done by hand. Um, but yeah, here's a sideways mirror, for example, and it does work, and it's shallower for sure. But I
Not
wasn't as
loving it.
happy with it.
Yeah.
And also something to think about when you're mirroring it is I had to make sure, like Nancy's face is not symmetrical, like her hair parts down lower on one side. So when you mirror it, you have to make sure you remember to mirror it. And there's so many times
Oof.
where I forgot to,
That's
and
the
I had to
nice thing
redo
I
it.
would say about Pico 8 is that it flips, it gives you code to just flip all the sprites and do things like that, and
Mm,
you certainly couldn't do a game like this to this scale
oops.
in that software, but there's a lot of cheat things that help with animation and keeping it really simple.
Yeah.
Like all features, you prioritize and decide what's worth the
Hmm.
effort. You can tell this one was worth it because chat noticed immediately and recognized it as a moment
Mm,
of polish. Julia solving it in an art way is smart because that's the fastest way for her to do it and move on, but someone else might be faster doing it in code.
yeah, exactly.
Totally. Totally. Awesome. So, yep, that's what it is.
Yeah, for me, like to do these animations, it's not, it's much faster than it would be for someone else, especially if you've got someone that you're hiring to do art. Yeah, you're definitely not going to want to solve it this way. Um, but for me, yeah, it's definitely the easiest way for me to do stuff.
For
But yeah,
what?
so Dan, we're gonna talk about what we're gonna be scoring today.
Yes, beautiful.
So yeah, this is something you can kind of there's an equivalent scene in the Colonel's Bequest. And so I wanted to make sure that the deaths that are in the Crimson Diamond are not easy to get. You can't really stumble into them accidentally. I wanted you to work for them because, yeah, it would be frustrating and scary for kids to have some death happen like they do a lot of the time in the Colonel's Bequest. They'll just happen really quickly without any warning. But this is one where you really do have to work for it.
Well, you were a kid, I guess, when you played Colonel's Bequest. I was a
Oh,
kid when
yeah.
I played all the Sierra games,
Yep.
which is kind of weird because a lot of them they're not necessarily kids' games.
Well, exactly.
The
Yeah.
thematic,
Absolutely.
the thematic, the artwork looks like kids,
Yep.
but the theme doesn't. Anyway,
So you
you can
turn on the
have the
water, and
first
so of
screen.
course I have the animation for she's in the towel versus not in the towel to turn on the water. So there's a lot of code in this one just because yeah, if this her sprite is different. This is the only room so far in the game where her sprite is different, and all the animations that are in this room had to be done with both sprites. But yeah, so here you got to turn the water on. You got to pull this valve. Yeah, Grunislav, thank you. No, I thank you all the time for giving me that code and so I could figure out how to adapt it. And Grunislav had his own way to work around these blocking animations in his games.
Well, and if you
Um,
think about it, he's working in a completely different resolution, different
that's
colors.
exactly. Yep.
So it gives him different advantages and also gives him different disadvantages and creates
Hmm.
different problems, I would think.
Yep. Yep. So what his solution was, if I can share it, Grunislav.
Judith
Okay.
Butler's lover.
I'm just gonna get in the tub. So so this is the sequence we're going to be scoring for today.
Hey, how you doing? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh god. You aren't looking too sharp. Are you psycho? You should be more careful. Thanks for playing. Yeah, if there was any G string, hello, G rating, that's my second Freudian slip on stream. G rating, it's long gone by now.
Yeah, I think in a way, it's one of those things where could this be considered like cartoonish? It's such a low resolution and etc. Um,
Yeah, Wilson, it's rated G string. Definitely, that's a different game. That's more Leisure Suit Larry territory. So can we go back to that? Oh, you have a save already. Perfect.
yeah, I actually don't have it saved there, but I will. I will save it. Test.
Okay. But who's the
Whoops.
killer? The person who killed Nancy is the killer.
Hmm.
Just like when
But
is the
yeah, so
release date?
we're
The release
definitely
date is when the game is released, of course.
yes, not a moment sooner. Oh, hey, Rodrigo. So the father and daughter at the library exhibition. Oh, you know about that? Yeah, it was so cute to watch that. I have to say, it was actually really special to me. So Rodrigo Borgia is talking about is the first place I showed the Crimson Diamond demo publicly was at Wordplay 2018 at the Toronto Reference Library here in my hometown of Toronto. And I got to see, I think she must have been, I don't know, like 7 or 8 or something, and with her dad. And her dad, I guess, recognized the style of the game, and they sat down and they were typing out the stuff, the text parser, and they would take turns typing and take turns. He would read the characters' voices out and the dialogue, and it was really cool to see that because I know a lot of people have that being their first experience with an older sibling potentially or a parent who would go through the game like that with them, and it was very cooperative, and I think there's a lot of ways it can be educational because yes, spelling and just navigating around and talking to people and figuring out what you can do. I've seen that a few times. I think there's about like half a dozen times I've had either friends or friends who have kids or just watched people at shows play it with their kids, and it's really nice to see that. And I was kind of not expecting that to be an appeal. Um, so yeah, it's something I hadn't considered, but it was a really nice surprise.
It's 24.75 scales for you.
Well, here's the thing.
I'll play hand and exercises.
Grundislav is saying no lock on the bathroom door, and that's an interesting point because he's thinking like a game dev because well, indeed, you might expect on a bathroom you can indeed lock the bathroom door,
How about that?
which is a really smart thing to do. I think in general, especially if you're using someone else's bathroom in a place you don't really know. But yeah, you can actually do these things in any order you want to do. You can have her get in the tub first, then turn on the water and pull the valve, or you can pull the valve, turn on the water, then get in the tub. A lot of fun things to program there that I probably could have done more efficiently.
Ooh, that's a nice sound. We're actually hearing it.
Oh, we are? I don't know why that you're hearing. You
Awesome.
shouldn't be hearing it.
Did you hear someone trying to open the bathroom door? Not me doing that, I swear.
Probably just the sound of the plumbing. Ah, that was refreshing. We're in a
B
pop of
flat.
water. Get out of tub. Yeah, so yeah, you can definitely shower perfectly safely if you lock the door to the bathroom. And yeah, Grindislav, yeah, totally thinking like a normal person and slash game designer.
Yeah.
And
I
just
saw I
take
saw a comment quickly about the puzzle in Lamplight City, the harpsichord puzzle. Was it a harpsichord or an auto player piano? I forget. Because there's a couple of pianos in that game, or a couple of keyboard instruments. But there's also a really nice scene if the house that you're talking about, where there's a Rachmaninoff piece in there. I loved it. I assume that was Mark Bennis's doing as well.
that Jim Plays Games makes an excellent point in that it's true to actually trying to operate someone else's shower should be a complex puzzle in its own right. And I swear, I was at an Airbnb once and I could not
Oh man,
figure out how to operate the shower.
always. Is
It
there
was something I'd never seen before.
is there anyone here that's in Europe? Because I've stayed at a lot of hotels in Europe,
Yeah.
and the showers are bizarre to me. I have stayed at plenty of places where I am unable to shower without completely getting the entire bathroom floor soaked because there's just a little piece of glass that covers like a quarter of the way of the tub or shower or whatever, and then that's it. And then just the rest of the water sprays everywhere as it hits me. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this problem, or maybe I'm doing it wrong. Maybe I should just take a bath. But I don't know. Can you actually take a bath in this game, or can you only take a shower?
There's no plug, actually.
Oh.
I think I plug bath. You don't
You
see a
don't see
plug.
a plug.
Yep.
Hmm. Ask about plug.
Yeah, there's no one here to ask.
Ask Nancy about plug.
Ask yourself about the plug. Why don't we play the death one more time and then you
Yes,
can sort
please.
of tell me what you're thinking.
A Japanese toilet puzzle. Europeans are waterbenders. Yeah, they might. They might be. They definitely are different from region to region because some I can work with, some I can't.
That's true. In a lot of Asian countries, the drain is in the tile floor of the bathroom. You're just supposed to shower into the toilet and everything gets all wet, apparently.
Ouch.
Yes. Grindislav, you need to find the rubber
Whoa.
bung in the mad scientist
How did that
lab.
go on again?
Oh, you know what? I think maybe I thought I had that tab muted. I guess I don't. I
Interesting.
do have that tab muted. I have no idea why that's happening.
Hmm. The rubber
Interesting.
bung in the mad scientist lab. Oh
Yeah.
man, Hugo's House of Horrors.
Don't encourage him, Grindislav. He's going to show you his Hugo booklets again,
Ooh.
which
You
are
know,
stunning.
I don't have any games though. I don't have. Oh, I have the CD-ROM only. I don't have any boxed cardboard games though. I would love it. I don't. Because there's no official boxed registered copy. I think it's just a disc.
Hmm.
and then you get those documents. But there's actually another documentation I don't have. There's one that covers all the games. So I'd love to track that down at some point. So Kisai Tenche says, where was Hugo ever a box? There's a lot of shareware box versions, but and oddly, the shareware versions are also the registered versions. They're the full games. But there was no, as I understand it, official boxed game. Like if you ordered the registered version,
Mm.
you would have got some kind of mailer with the discs and the documentation, but I don't think there was a actual box versus something like let's see, like these. These are the actual mail order versions of Doom and Heretic. Uh, is this? Yes, this is the mail. These are the mail orders. These are boxed mail orders. Tougher things to find because they were only available via mail order. They were never in stores, so there was not as many made. Nice. Let's discuss Lamplight City instead. Anyway, that's Rachmaninoff. I believe that's Prelude in G minor in the upstairs of the house of the second case in the game, I think.
Mm.
Evil clown music. Well, that's just the patch. So, but I do kind of like the patch for this section of the game. By the way, there were four. That what you had before is you had kind of like a little creep up music, and then you had like four stabbing sounds. Because I guess there are four stabs that occur in the animation. Does that sound right?
I don't remember. We should look at it again.
I just noticed the chain on the toilet. The killer is left-handed. Hmm,
What?
interesting. But aren't all toilet flushing things on the left side? Mine certainly is. Slat
Let's see.
Studio is out of here. Later,
Good to
Slat
see you, Slat
Studio. Thank you for
Studio.
coming.
Yes. Mm. So how many do we have? How long do we want this music to be? So it's going to be from when the door opens, I suppose. Or no, it's not. It's like really short. It's not here. That's where it starts. 4. Yeah, you're right. 4.
Yeah. So it's just under 10 seconds, I think.
Okay. So the first bit is that beginning part when the door opens, which is like a rumbling, scary sound.
You hear that?
Yes.
Just leave it. We'll leave that playing. So yes, so the rumbly sound is good. I can finally do something scary.
Yeah, I know. I know you've been waiting. We've always been telling you, not so scary, not so scary.
So I kind of like that as a pedal tone. Didn't somebody say before? Somebody said, Can I play the main theme to the game?" Yeah, I can play the main theme at some point. Oh, let me switch back so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing.
Oh, and Afarama wants to know if there's any scream sound on the MT32. That's a pretty good question. We never found one. But we didn't get all the way through.
There's not exactly. It's not if you're thinking of like the general MIDI-ish type scream. There's one in the sound canvas, but there's probably like a fake one that's not great.
Oh, you know what I did? Oh my gosh, I was scared for a second. What I did was when you are in the bathrobe, you're not carrying any of your inventory.
Ah, interesting.
When you dress, you have your inventory back.
Ah, how about that?
And
But
I
wait,
did
do that
figure out
again.
how to
Do
do
that
that.
again where you undress and you don't have the inventory.
Yeah.
And then but you still have the loop.
Well, it's not, it's not.
It's not an actual inventory item.
No.
Okay. So It sounded like the brown note. Oh dear. Well, it is in the bathroom after all, so that's okay. Yeah, so what we're going to try to do is get it to be like angry and aggressive, but without sounding like that's really just kind of grating. We want it a little bit grating, but we also want people to actually listen to it as opposed to like, wow, that just sounds really awful. Dan's out of the loop always. Who showers? Oh dear. Oh, you can see it. Okay, good.
Oh, Ferroy says apparently the chain is on the left so you can pull with your right hand while sitting down. Huh. Sweet.
It makes
Today
sense.
I learned.
Courtesy flush.
See, if you're sitting down, yeah, if you're right-handed, you can use your right hand. Very good.
Let's see.
Who pulls the chain when sitting?
It's more of probably a preventive measure. It doesn't appear that there's a plunger, so you wouldn't want an embarrassing situation. Mineralogist, yes, nice one, Deluxe Tux. So let's do this now.
That sounds like the beginning of Colonel's Bequest, like when you just load it up and the will's about to be put out.
So now here's an interesting thing. Everything so far that we've done in this game is tonal in some way or shape or form. This is a place where I'm not going to necessarily go completely tonal. I'm going to use a pedal tone or a drone of some kind. So that'll be a note. It might act as a root in a way, which is D as of now. Let's see. And we may even do something that's tonal in one part, but then we may move kind of atonally or very dissonant without being able to analyze it in a typical music theory kind of way. I'm not going to do like a tone row or anything like that, but something. Well, tonal means just like, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to talk about this thing called. No, that's what it sounds like, right? How does that go? I don't even know. Anyway, yeah, so like atonal would mean something more like you don't have like a key. This is in the key of F major, B flat major, whatever. You would have it more like. It doesn't necessarily mean a bunch at once. It just means that, whoa, undress Nancy outside. It must be cold. This is not available in the demo, by the way, is this, Julia?
No, of course not.
Oh. She escaped in her towel, wearing nothing but her towel. I'm out of here.
Sorry, I just I wanted to make this visually interesting because the game was not moving and not doing anything. So.
Can we go back to the shower?
What?
The bathroom, please?
Oh, whoops. Well, I could have moved it down a
The
bit.
quest for clothes. No, we can't go back to the bathroom?
Oh yeah, okay, we can't. I just have to orient her properly. Oh, nope. Because otherwise she's not a walkable. There we go.
Something like that's kind of where I'm looking at. But I want to change sounds up. So let's just put in a drone for like 10-ish seconds. So what I'm going to do here is in any DAW, digital audio workstation software, you can change usually the scale that you're going by. Right now it's beats and bars, which normally would make the most sense. But what I would do is let's just change the scale to be in seconds, minutes and seconds, and then we'll zoom in so I can see. So I just highlighted roughly 10 seconds of space. So we'll record this. And I'm not even really gonna need a metronome because it's not really timed to anything. It looks like it didn't record. It did not record. Nice. Sweet. Hi guys, this is my first time using the software. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, is that what you meant by fixing things before the stream, Dan?
I fixed it all right. It looks like it didn't record again. Weird. Okay. Oh, it's probably hooked up to the wrong computer. No, it's hooked up to the right computer. I don't know why it's not recording. Let's just put the note in and see what happens.
Here for you guys are seeing secret screens. Oh no, she got dressed by.
Nobody wants to see her dressed. They want to see her running around in a towel outside in freezing weather.
This is what you guys get to see as viewers.
Uh-oh, there it is. I'm going to have to play it now because you did that.
Yeah, so if you want her to open the door, and I don't know if she will. Oh, nope, you're not. Thank you, Dave. Or yeah. Can you record yet, Dan?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know why it's not recording, to be honest.
Because she's Canadian. Back out there.
That's not the right chord. Too fast. Always. So I want a different sound, like a stringy, kind of plucky kind of sound. That's a little too corny. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. It kind of sounds like water, too. Nice.
See, now, it's weird when you work with atonal music, I guess, where it doesn't have a tone center, like the vast majority of music you'd listen to on the radio. I don't think any of it's really atonal. But atonal music has like less flexibility in some ways because it's so all over the place in a way. You can only go so many places, otherwise it sounds like you're tonal. It's weird. But the guys who started it are these really, like, the way you consider it in Western music. Arnold Schoenberg, Alban Berg and Anton Webern are like the famous three guys that started. It's really Schoenberg that started using this stuff, but it changed the way film music was done. Like they basically gave birth to all film music, and they're really the fathers of it in a way, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, Shostakovich wasn't really atonal. He kind of did uh, something a little bit different. You know, Scriabin as well. Yeah, you'd have to kind of you intermix both of them. So that's an interesting sound. Let me try to find another interesting sound for us to use potentially. Maybe there's a high drone as well that comes in at some point. And like you can see how clunky this is to use. Like I'm having to click so much crap. And I could template it better, but even with a template, I would still have to click around a lot. It's just very annoying.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be right back. Go figure something out. When I get back, it'll be done.
Do you
Pretty
want to
sure.
put us back in the bathroom instead of out in
Oh,
our
do I
freezing
want to?
freezing our butts off? I mean, you don't
No, what?
have to. Oh, standing up.
No, it just you have to work it on a walkable area.
Okay.
Okay, there we are. All right, I'll be right back. All
That's
right, give
pretty
me
cool.
3 minutes, 3 to 5.
We'll be counting. Set a timer, someone, please.
Oh my gosh. Chris, the King's Quest 3.
So I'm still using D as the root note. I like it. It just sounds weird as opposed to horror. See, I guess what I'm trying to do is find clusters of notes that give me the kind of feeling that I want. Because I'm really thinking about the feeling more than anything. I like that patch, so I'm going to save that as well. Right now, I guess what you could say is I'm kind of trying to give myself like a palette to work with, like you would if you were an artist, like different colors. Each patch represents a different color. Try not to go too Space Quest though. Yeah, exactly, Mousimus. That's interesting. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. That's kind of more what I'm thinking. The pluck strings, kind of pizzicato strings, or fake pizzicato strings sounds. By the way, I don't know if you stream at all, Lace, but there's another composer that you guys should all check out. On Twitch, his name is Bustatunes. He's late. He streams usually really late, but his real name is Will Roget. He's the composer of Mortal Kombat 11, the newest one. And he's also working on Call of Duty, this new season on the mobile game. He did Call of Duty World War II, but he is a really, really, really nice guy and extremely talented composer. I heard something he was doing on the stream, and I messaged Julia, and I'm like, watch this guy. And I'm like, I'm ready to quit right now. He's unbelievable. So definitely a guy worth checking out. That kind of gives us Yes, Bustatunes. Yep, that's him. He's been in our stream once or twice. Um, awesome dude. Will Roger, aka Bustatunes. It won't let me type his name if he's not in the chat or whatever, but whatever. So Edenway says the woody scraping sound sounded like the ambient sounds when wandering the streets of Shapir in Quest for Glory 2. Yeah, there probably are if you played the MT32 version. That's pretty cool. Because you're thinking about, I guess what I'm thinking about is visualization. Even though there's something for you to watch, I also kind of want your stomach to a little bit turn in a way during this part of the... Okay, so we got the low drone. And whatever, it's going to be something along those lines. Because I'm not exactly sure. What I'm going to have to do for this eventually is do like a video, because it's a cutscene. It'll work. Do the video, record, and then just score it like I would a film. So I can do it to the exact second, as opposed to queuing it to different things happening. The pipes are clogged. Yeah, and there's no plunger. That's the scary part about it. So you could do something like that. Let's try that. Let's see if that works. See if it'll let me record now.
Right, I'm back.
Okay, it did let me record this time. Got a little bit of a low drone, kind of a subtle doubling thing going on. So when he appears, can we play the scene one more time?
Of course.
Let's see. I want to see. Hold on. Let me do Big Julia. There we go.
You good?
1 second. Let me just scale this correctly. No, that's worse. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Nope, that didn't work either. Transform. Nope. That's better. That's a lot better. Okay, fit to screen. There we go. Transform. Okay, we'll live with that.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Whenever
All right.
One more time. Can you do the same thing again? Yeah, okay, cool. So yes, and Kisai and Mousimus, if you hear once winter kicks in here, you'll hear what it sounds like, because this mic is pretty good about keeping outside noise, but my pipes crack once the heat kicks on. Oh god, it's nasty down here. My house is old. Okay, so That's roughly what it is. Something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't want it to copy that exactly, but we're in the right neighborhood. I don't want to go Knight Rider. Anyway, but that's a cool sound. Let's try that again. We're not scary enough, though. It's too subtle.
Tonda says the VOD is muted. What's muted? Uh-oh.
You can hear us, though, right? Oh, maybe, oh, I don't know. I hear things. No, I'm joking that it will be muted because of the
Oh, I
Knight Rider
see.
thing.
Okay, yes, because the
Good,
Knight
you
Rider
confused the slow people.
thing. Yeah. Now, Tonda mentioned it. I don't know if this was just like an inside joke or something, but on the Retrograde Tom stream, I think it was on the other day, they mentioned that you're a pilot, Tonda, because I always thought you were an artist.
Holy
Are you
crap.
both?
Maybe they meant pirate. Maybe he's a pirate.
Okay, he it's a joke. Okay, because I was like, oh, yeah, I know you're an artist, but you could be both conceivably.
It's more likely that he's a pirate, I would think.
Mm-hmm. I think we've all been pirates at one time or another.
We'd all like to be if we aren't. That's better.
I really like the idea people were talking about of having it be related to the sound of old pipes, because it is mentioned in the game that it could be that.
Where? Before or?
Well, yeah, because you guys were talking about how pipes sound in the winter and everything.
Interesting.
And in the game, when Nancy thinks she hears the sound, but the door is locked, she thinks, oh, it's probably just the pipes.
Well, that's a different scene, though, isn't it?
No, it's just right here when you lock the door in the bathroom, and then she does the whole scene, and nothing happened. She thinks, oh, is it just the sound of the pipes that she heard instead of someone trying to get in?
Let's see.
It says, did you hear someone trying to open the bathroom door?
Right.
Probably just the sound of the plumbing. Then you have a delightful, refreshing shower.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. The door's locked, so that's a different scene.
Yeah, but the idea being that the sound could potentially sound like that. Like there could be a sound in the song that has that sound of what pipes would sound like.
Gotcha. Yeah. I like what Mousimus just said. And so an ominous sound when approaching the tub, warning the player not to go in. The only thing is, it's not really, as long as you're locking the door, it's fine. So I don't know if we could do that, but what would be cool about that, Mousimus, is that would be like an adaptive music thing. So as Nancy would walk, maybe, as she gets to those little shoes peeking out from under the little stool thing, maybe kind of a quiet sound plays and drones. I don't know. Maybe it starts if you don't lock the door. And you start as soon as you cue the shower. As soon as you get into the tub without locking the door, maybe that's when the sound actually starts. What do you think, Julia?
Well, it'd be hard because people might get confused.
Because it would have once you've gotten in the tub, aren't you done if you didn't lock the door?
Oh, so you mean after you say get in tub?
Yes.
So from here. Get in tub, and then it would go
right there. And then you hear the next, so that you make that little piece longer. You give me a little bit more time to operate, right? Or is it not? Does it pause here if you don't click through?
It's not going because the water's not on.
Oh.
Because all these things have to happen for it to happen.
Interesting.
So that I guess wouldn't necessarily work from that standpoint.
Interesting. So now what has to happen?
Oh, oh, is the door? What has happened? Did I break it?
Maybe.
Cause turn off. Did we break it?
I
Exit.
maybe.
Maybe she can only do that once. I don't know.
Is the door still locked? And you
Let's
took
see.
another shower?
Let's see.
I would call you a waste of water-roo if you did that.
Unlock. Oop. Huh.
Yeah, the door was locked. Okay, so do that again. Let's find the bug.
Well, let's. Yeah, killer is occupied right now. Yeah, yeah, there we go. So,
Oh, the pipe
interesting.
sound.
Hmm.
No, but what I meant
So,
was lock the door first and then take 2 showers.
yeah, okay, we can do that too. Oh boy.
So it's
I gotta
not
make a note
broken.
first.
It's not broken, really.
Second shower, but yeah, I guess not. It- But let's do that. So okay. Let's lock the door now.
Maybe you want
Take
to
two
put it in
showers.
the game that says, you know what, you already took a shower, you don't need another one, kind of thing.
We could do that.
Killer is using Jordan almonds.
Hey, the killer's downstairs cooking dinner. Says the Lux Tux. Yeah, yeah. The killer's in the conservatory having a drink.
She runs out of clean towels. You mean dry towels?
Okay, so this is fine. This is working as intended.
And leave that going for a second. I want to see if I can get like a pipe sound, like they were saying. No.
Deluxe Tux thinking that Jack has early access to a knife. Knows which room Nancy is in. That's not bad. Miss Scarlet in the study with the newspaper.
That's probably the sound we want there.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Interestingly enough, let's ask a next question. Should
Sure.
that be baked into the cutscene, or should that just be a loop that happens while you're in the bathroom? Or should
Which?
that be the... Can you do any kind of like wise-ish stuff where you randomize how often the sound happens, or is that a lot of scripting for no benefit?
Oh, so you mean like at a randomized interval, you'd hear the pipe go or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's doable for sure.
Can you pitch down instruments or sounds, or can you just play back sounds at
Just
intervals?
play back.
So you'd have to make, I don't know, you'd have to bake everything in first.
Yeah, you can do
And
like a
then
random interval, random sound, from whatever 3 or 4 you have.
can you do more?
Sure.
One sound, multiple cue points. You could do it that way too, yeah. That might be, is that, you think that would be easier coding? I'm not really too sure, but that sounds like it might be easier.
Well, if it's
Right.
just one quick short sound, it's easier to just play it because it'll just play and stop itself. Hmm.
I like Kisai's idea. It just might be tougher to remember when you do that, but you can always put a comment in there. It's kind of a marimba, but it doesn't have enough tone.
Hmm.
Aha, DJ Mega Hammer. We were mentioning you before. What's up?
You didn't miss much.
Oh, please. You missed a whole nice lecture on
Hmm.
another fellow composer from Twitter.
Yes. Oh, that's true. That was cool.
Maybe it should be one or two sounds. Because if I do too many, it sounds a little funky.
It sounds too instrumental.
Yep. It's like one or two sounds you can get away with.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, I think you could program it. You
Mhm.
could just tell it to kind of play at weird intervals. I like key size idea, but I'm also thinking maybe you can run two scripts with two different sounds at the same time. So maybe it's one sound with multiple cue points and another sound layered under that with multiple cue points, or it could be many sounds, two different like kind of layers of sounds with randomizing when they play. Because you'd want them to
So for the
play not so often, right?
yeah.
You don't want it to be annoying. But anyway, that's not super worrisome. Let me just record some of that for reference, and then I'll put a note in
Hmm.
Pro Tools. A marker is not or a locator, I guess a memory location is not necessarily like a comment in code, but you can use it that way.
Hmm.
Because I can comment on the track itself, but it might be easier to comment on in the memory location as opposed to on the track itself.
Hmm.
So what we'll do is we'll put in a new location and we'll just call this pipe sounds, I guess.
So I'm still not sure how the multiple cue points would work.
You basically just you'd have to call it at different times in the sound. It just might it's probably the better code, but it's probably more I don't know. You'd have to have a really I think a strong understanding of code. I don't know. It seems like it.
Yeah, that seems like it would be harder, especially with Adventure Game Studio. It just kind of plays and stops.
If we had something like that.
Oh yeah, I don't know. Hmm.
It's probably doable. If we were in Unity or something, then we'd be using Wise anyway, I guess. But yeah,
Hmm.
then I would say do it like that. Or Unreal Engine. I don't know that Unreal Engine or Unity is the ideal tool for an EGA text parser. I think AGS is probably the guy
Good night,
for
Judith
that.
Butler's lover. It's always
Judith
good to see
Butler's
you.
lover is out of here. Thank you for
Yeah,
coming
pleasure to
again.
have
It's
you.
always fun having you. Yeah, it is. There is
Oh
audio
yes.
clip play from in AGS. Yeah,
Okay.
so that would be a little bit easier, but I think still yeah, Unity has a built-in mixer, but if you've looked at Wise is unbelievable. And Wise will just tie right into Unity very easily. But that's more sound design. That's not my strength, at least not at this point. Let's record this. I like that. Yeah, Wise or Fmod. Fmod, from what I understand though, Fmod is like kind of being phased out by the big guys. I don't know why, but all the game audio guys I know, composers have told me go Wise. Don't bother with learning Fmod. Licensing could be. But Wise is definitely the more complex or at least less user-friendly interface to use. You're hearing the same thing, Lays? Yeah, I mean, I heard it from two guys that I would trust. Maybe more than that, but one of the audio directors for Tencent, and then the other one was Will. Will was saying Wise, and they said get your Wise certification. And I've heard this question come up a lot. Get your Wise certification. Why? It doesn't. Nobody cares about it on your resume. Well, they do because they look at 10,000 resumes, and they might only want to look at people with that stupid little Wise certification because you may never get the chance to get the actual interview where they want to talk to you. So it may be beneficial. So I'm going to do it. There's a test. I think it's about $200 to get the certification. There's 4 different certifications you can get. The first level would give you 101. There's 201, 301, 401. I think each one. So what you can do is just take the one test, learn everything, if you have that one WISE certification, well, now you can write that you're WISE certified, right? So, let's see. Fun interview gatekeeping. Yep, that's what it is, really. It's a licensing issue. I'm not too sure. So Bill Kuhn says, FYI, your source stream is 60 FPS 1080p. Is that good or bad? I don't know.
Well, it's not crashing you, so maybe it's okay. Cause
Yeah,
I dialed mine down because I thought maybe it was a problem for me.
I set it to that because I was noticing weird things with my stream, but my camera only
Mm.
streams at 30 FPS. My capture card does do 60 FPS, but nobody cares about 60 FPS in Pro Tools. No, probably not. I like this. I like what's going on here with the pipes. All right, so we got pipe noises now. Okay. Well, we lost that. There's a nice cluster. And for those of you music nerds, that is a major seventh with a minor second in addition. So G, F sharp, and then right above G is an A flat or G sharp. By the way, tell me about this 60 FPS. Should I scale it back to 30? Is that better? Is that better for people watching? It's not the right sound yet, but we're nearly there. Let's just do this. What am I doing? .60 FPS is generally high, better, less bandwidth for us, but still 1080. Gotcha. Okay. No, it's not adjustable midstream. I'm going to have to do it for the next one. Sorry, guys. Is it causing problems for watching the stream? Okay, I changed it. Now it's F sharp, G, D flat, F, or G flat, G, D flat, F, whatever you prefer. I like that kind of sound. So play, let's see. No, we're good. The game is good. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Something along those lines. I don't know. Let's see. Let's take this now. Interestingly enough, all those dang notes, that might screw up the polyphony of this thing because it's not the most note. I don't even know what the polyphony is. Maybe 32 notes. I think 32 voice is what MT32 stands for. I don't remember. Let's hear this. That's scary-ish.
Oh yeah.
That's scary-ish. Now, what I would need to do is fit this to picture because it's a cutscene, so I would score it as such because it plays at a fixed rate, right? Am I right about
Yes.
that? Yeah.
Yes. Well, not okay. So there's a dialogue box that does come up that you have to clear.
Where? Only
So
when he
okay.
kills you or she
So
kills you.
here, let's see. Let's see. Get in tub, and then turn on water. Yeah. Hold on.
Okay.
Turn on water. So, oh yeah. Actually, there's nothing here. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was
Ouch.
thinking of the safe one where nothing happens.
So the
And
safe one
that's fine.
we would treat a little bit different, and we would do
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly what Kisai is saying. So we do maybe the drone, and then we'd add after the dialogue box. That would be a real easy way to do it. So the
Mm.
drone just stays no matter what as a loop or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then. So can you do that in AGS as well? Can you do like start from a certain point and then loop it from the later point? Do you know what I'm saying?
So I could, yeah, the audio play from the audio clip play from is the one that Maximus was mentioning. But as for looping it from, I don't know if that's a
So
thing.
like let's say the clip is 10 seconds. We want to play
Yes.
it. We want to play it at the start, but then we want the loop to only be from second 3 to 10. Is that possible? So we play it starting the first time we cue
Mm-hmm.
it, it hits, but then it keeps looping over and over and over again once it hits 3 to 10 seconds or
I
whatever
don't know. I
until we change it.
I feel like no,
Okay.
but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. I bet there is a way to do it, but the question is, you know.
Hmm.
I like Lays is like a I don't know, are you a jazz musician first? Are you studied? It sounds like you studied. You know, just reading some of the Twitter stuff that you had said. I studied as well, but I studied mostly my studies were classical piano. You started out as a prog fanatic, became a jazz musician. So I also started really playing seriously because of Jordan Rudess from Dream Theater. If you know that band, I don't know what your instrument is. I think your guitar. Oh, you like Dream Theater, my dude. Guitar, okay. So you like Petrucci then. I actually studied Guthrie Govan mainly. I don't know him. Petrucci is great too. I actually studied with Jordan, and one day I'll find it. I studied with Jordan in 2001. I went to his house. He picked me up at the train station, me and my dad, drove us to his house. And anyway, I recorded the whole lesson on mini disc back then because that's what you
Hmm.
used to high quality record audio. And I still have it, and it's great. And then I saw him years later at an audition. I saw him a few times, and I see him at NAMM, and he's a super, super nice dude, but unbelievable player. It's just his abilities are otherworldly for sure. You know, yeah, his range is good. His just it's just his improvisations. I've heard some amazing stuff. So where are we at? We're pretty close. I just feel like it's a matter of syncing it to the picture now.
Yep.
And so now I'll just sync up something like that. What do you feel? What do you guys feel like? Does there need to be more there? I don't know that there
I don't know. Maybe
does.
the percussion that comes in is making it too scary. I don't know.
This MIDI 4 thing that I have going on here. this part. Oops. Oh no, the spinning rainbow. I'm running nothing else. This is all MIDI. Oh, what a joke. Oh man, come on, dude. Now here's the upside to Pro Tools. It saves like every 2 seconds. So I
Hmm.
probably lost nothing by closing right now. I'm going to force quit that because that's definitely toast. You know what? Pro Tools does give out on me, but mostly it gives out on me when I'm using like virtual instruments, not when I'm using MIDI. MIDI takes no CPU power. MIDI takes, this was the same MIDI information that was being sent in the 80s. This is not taking any CPU power to do this. I don't know why that happened. Whoops.
Yeah, that's why I get fed up when my CS2 is lagging on stream. I'm like, come on.
Does it really? I never noticed it.
Oh my gosh, it's almost
Yeah.
undoable to do it on stream. With especially with the older one, and it still lags on the new one, and I don't know what
So
that
now look
is.
at this. I had last saved it at 11:09, which is 11 minutes ago. But the session file backup saved at 17, which is probably since I made the last change. Look
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
file
Whew.
size. 62K. Come on. Get out of here. That's nothing. Yeah, so that's all there. Whoops. Let's solo this. That's too heavy. You
No,
feel
no,
like?
it's the stuff at the end. Like after the sharp stuff comes in, and then you add this a bump, 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 bump. I feel like that's really like she's getting beaten to death.
Right. So it's not so stabby as it is like DJ Mega Hammer took out his hammer and is beating her to death. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it's like it's a stabbing plus a beating, and I'm like, oh, that's a little
Gotcha.
brutal.
Well, that's cool. I
But
just
play it
wanted to get,
again.
so maybe we should
Play it
change
all.
the sound. Let's see.
Yeah, maybe you lighten it up or something. But yeah, that when it goes boom, 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 bum, 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 I'm like, holy cow.
Oh, and see how it says recovered. That's the nice part about Pro
Hmm.
Tools is it does give an awful lot of save. Screw you. Going full pizza snob mode on about you switching to Reaper. Yeah, all the game guys are using Reaper. They really are. I'm not there yet because the MIDI editing I've heard is not fun, not sexy, and it's already bad in Pro Tools. It's great in Logic. Like Logic would be the ideal thing for me to use, but this MacBook is from 2012, and I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't tell you. So let's maybe lighten this. We have two options or three options. We can thin out the MIDI, which is a possibility, but I think it's not as sharp as it needs to be. So let's duplicate it. Duplicating is a nice way of just keeping what we already have and then changing this to something else. Eek. It's a little loud, but that's better, right?
Better?
I think so. It's less beady. But it may the other concern I have is it may be the timing. Where the hell is this MIDI information? Oh, I got you. I got an idea. I forgot to do something very important. Dr. Mikachu, the doctor of dance and sharks. Thank you for being here. Everybody tune into Miko, Dr. Mikachu on Thursday. I'm not sure exactly what time we start, but I will jump in there at some point for sure. I'll probably see Furoy over there. Deluxe Tux, I'll see over there. It's totally worth it. If you're interested in game development at all, she talks about everything, music too. It's awesome. It's fun.
Yes, good night, Dr. Mikachu. Good to see you, as always. 6 p.m. Eastern. What PST? What's PST again?
Pacific. So it's 3 hours
Uh,
behind us. So
okay.
9 p.m. here
Okay, so
in
6 p.m.
in
Pacific.
in New York, West Eastern
Gotcha.
time.
Right. Yes, provincial sales tax. Oh yes, thank you for that, Sam, for linking Dr. Mikachu's channel.
Ah, Sam Tacky.
Yes.
See it there, brother? I think it's just loud, but you know. And the other thing is to maybe thin it out. That's just distorting because it's too loud. Hold on. I'll do it from the actual M232. How do you feel about that? Still not what you want?
That's better. I like that better because it actually sounds like the noise is echoing. You know, like the screechy sound is echoing in the tub almost. I think it's less heavy than it was, which I do like.
I think it's better. Feels a bit overdone, to be honest. Interesting. I think the tough part is right now what I need to do is score it to the picture. And can you? Well, it may not be something we can do right at this moment. Maybe it's something we can continue on a later stream. Because what I'd love to do is just take the thing and edit it like I was doing like a movie scene.
Right.
Did I ever play, by the way, the music that I did for the horror score? I could probably not play the actual movie and just play the score.
Hmm.
I don't think it'll open, but I'll do that. I'll do that for a later date as well. I did like a score for a horror movie. Yeah, it's still distorted. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it for now. It's the MT32 coming in too hot to the mixer. I think I'm not too sure. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe I'll fix that. Oops. There we go. And we could try other sounds too.
Yes. Oh, that's lighter. I like it lighter for sure. Oh, I like the discordant stringing that's going on
Say what?
underneath. Like it's like a discordant string sound coming in underneath the screechy bits, which I kind of like.
Like that?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're beating a piano with a hammer, which is kind of fun.
Yes, yes, which sounds interesting.
Yeah.
What if
Yeah,
we
yeah,
leave
yeah, yeah.
both of these at the same time? That's a no.
Yeah, it's too. Yeah. Mhm.
That's not patch 65, is it? No. You're lying to me.
Yeah, we can't hear you very well.
Okay, so I just need to correct this last one because this is very tonal, the last cluster that I was supposed to hit. Da-da-da. Okay, let's see what this does. It actually has a really subtle melody. I
Yeah,
like it.
there's no Discord link on that Nightbot thing.
Oh, who else wanted the Discord? Yes,
Oh,
Ambersine. So here, let me just get the Discord link for you guys right now, and I'll message Judith Butler's lover back because she had messaged about it. I can do that. I think I have to shut Julia off for a second.
okay.
Uh, let's do Mac only for now, and then we'll get that going. Let's close that. Let's see here. Yes, because I got to get out of full screen. And I can invite people. Hidden, use the copy button. Okay.
There is not a Crimson Diamond Discord. I know it's something that people have been recommending to me, but there's just so much stuff to do and so many other places to be in, and that I haven't done it yet.
It says an internal server error occurred when I look at that link. So tell me if that
Hmm.
link works for you guys, though. You should be
Let me
able to
try it.
join it. I think Mega Hammer is already in there. A couple others of us are in there. Anna's in
Yeah,
there.
it
A
worked.
few
I'm
of us.
actually not even in there, haha. But I think
Yeah,
that
Julia.
link worked
Well,
for
we
me.
didn't send you an invite, so you know.
Oh,
Oh dear. There we go. Works. Cool. Great. Joe Rogan's YouTube video. Exactly. That's the exact one I was thinking. And mentioned her speaking voice. Her speaking voice is really deep. It's like she smoked. I don't know. I mean, she might. I don't know. Adele was a heavy smoker, and she didn't necessarily sound so low. But yeah, Tara Reid and Scarlett Johansson. Interesting. Scarlett's a hell of an actor. I don't know about Miley's acting ability. I missed the train on Hannah Montana. Although I do want the Hannah Montana PSP. I would
oh
love that
boy.
limited edition console. It's like a light purple, like the curtains of the shower. It's kind of like that color almost, purple pink.
Well, why do you want this?
Oh, just because it's really cool. What are you talking about? Of
Okay.
course I want. Oh, let me see if I can do it quick. Let's just quickly switch back here. I have a lot of these actually.
What do you have?
This is PSP.
Oh,
And
You
this is
want a
the
PSP that's a Miley Cyrus edition?
yes, this is the Star Wars edition. I would love to get the God of War edition. There's a Madden edition, which is blue. The God of War edition is red, and I would love to get the Metal Gear Solid edition, which is I forget.
Oh my gosh.
I think it's like camouflage, and then the Miley Cyrus one is purple or something.
I got nothing to say about that.
Yeah, I have a few.
It's
I
pretty
have quite a few.
cool. Hardware. Yeah, DJ Mega Hammer. Yeah, during the pre-stream stream on my channel, I enumerated the 11 things I've tried to fix the the jitter, the cursor jitter I'm experiencing in Windows 10 and the Surface Book 3 on Photoshop CS2. And while trying to fix the jitter, I have unfixed the pressure sensitivity. So it's just been a big frustration all around. Yeah, there won't be a Crimson Diamond Special Edition PSP. Yeah, I'm waiting on one more piece. The 12th attempt at fixing it is a Wacom stylus that is dual compatible with Wacom and Microsoft stuff. That should be coming in this week, and then I'm gonna try that. And if that doesn't work, I might have to return all this stuff and look into some other alternative, like the Wacom Mobile Studio Pro, which is crazy. But I just want something that works at this point.
Yeah, it's frustrating, and it makes me fear upgrading.
Oh yeah.
You know, that my laptop needs an upgrade, but I don't want to do it. This computer actually, I have this brand new motherboard that's high end, very high end, and I'm afraid as soon as I do it, it's going to break all my audio plugins. But at this point, it's just time to bite the bullet. Maybe after this stream, because then it gives me a little time to try to sort out all the issues that are going to come along with it inevitably. But it is what it is. Bill Kuhn says, last year I found a Talk Girl, the Pink Girls version of the Talk Boy. Yep, I know the Talk Boy very well. Nice. I was not aware of the Talk Girl, though. Don't get rid of the Surface Pro 2 for a while, so you have a backup. Yep.
Yes. Absolutely.
What did I say that I needed to send you, a Maple Mystery, besides a hat?
Oh, is there something else?
I thought so. I forget.
I forget too.
I needed to send you something to help. Was it a light? Oh, I said a light, maybe a video light or something.
Oh yeah, the light for the streaming stuff. Yeah.
I have extra lights now. I bought so many that I'm not even using all of them. And I watched Amiga Bill's stream the other day, and he did like a bonus stream where he was just photographing one of his Amigas, his Amiga 1200 that has it's all black and custom. It looks really nice. But he was kind of showing and talking about how to actually properly light stuff, because that's his full-time gig is film and television, and he's lighting and he's filming, and he actually did that Jeffrey Epstein documentary on Netflix. If you've seen that, it's disturbing. Nope. But he did film it. Very interesting too. So let's see. Just listen to that Joey Rogan, and Miley's voice reminds me of a coworker who's a heavy smoker and sounded like a grandmother. Yeah, but she sounded like that even when she was younger. I don't know that all came from smoking. I'm not too sure it did. I think there's just... She said she has something... Whoa, the Renaissance. Whoa. All right. Nice. Sweet. Dude, the Renaissance. You are the man. We've typically rated you, and we love rating you.
Yep.
But thank you for rating us, man. That's awesome. Hello, Raiders. So let's just give a little quick... brief talk about who we are and what the hell we're doing here. What do you think, Julia? Let's switch back.
Absolutely.
To here. You want to switch back to your camera?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
So people can see you.
Get on that.
Raiders of the Lost Twitch. Oh, yeah. What's up, people? Oh, I got to close your thing in Discord now. Let me do that.
Whatever you usually do to fix that.
I think it should be fixed as of now. E.C. Myers, what's up? Thank you for the follow.
Hello.
So, hello. My name is Dan. This is my friend Julia, who is a fantastic artist and game developer. We are streaming. Thank you for the follow. We are streaming the making of her game, The Crimson Diamond, which is available for to be played on Steam as a demo, and it's available on itch.io. Also, it's not yet released, but it's coming soon. I am mainly the composer and helping her with sounds for the game. We are using exclusively the Roland MT32 sound module from 1987, and yeah, that's what we're here doing, and we're making some music right now for a death scene in the game. So, first of all, we want to say thank you to the Renaissance for the raid, as always. He's a really enjoyable watch. He was playing golf the other night, like Lynx 386 golf, and I love that stuff, man. It's great. So, I finished up early. Dude, thanks, bro. It's
Yes,
great.
thank
We
you.
really appreciate it. Yeah, real Roland MT32. If I wouldn't make everybody sick, let me see if I can do it, and I'll show it off. I'll just let you all see Julia for a second and try not to make you sick here. There is the real Roland MT32. There is a Yamaha MU80 sitting on top of it. There you go. And then my mixer and all that kind of stuff. Let me switch back to Julia so nobody gets sick again. And that's the character Nancy Maple in her game. Whoops. There we go. And yeah, the work's going pretty cool.
Yes, it is.
Nice one, Edenwaith. Yeah, I try not to make you sick with the viewing. I understand that it can get a little weird. Can you watch Twitch on like a VR headset? Is that a thing yet? It probably is, right? You have a Rosella figure like that? Who made that? Where'd you
Yeah,
get that?
yeah, CJ, what was his name? It's been a while. Yeah, there's a guy on it's the 3D printing site that's called, I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, there's a guy who sells 3D printed, you don't call it those names, you call them, princess figure, policeman figure.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Because it can't be. It's
Yeah.
licensed information.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, the Renaissance, if you have the link for that, I can't remember the guy's name or else I would do it. You can please drop it in there because they are really cool. They are fragile though. That's my
Sanitation
only thing.
engineer.
They're fragile and the color is not as bright as I would like because I like super crazy bright color.
Could you repaint it?
Oh yeah, yeah, you probably could. I just haven't got around to it. I started a little bit, but I just, busy.
Yeah,
All the
that's
rest
pretty
of it.
cool. So yeah, I don't know if you've had a chance to see our streams before, Renaissance, but you can see behind me. These are all big box PC games, and then there's a couple of Nintendo and other things up here. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, this is the collection, and I've seen you stream this, which is a very unforgiving game, King's Quest 3. And then we were trying to figure out which version of it that we were watching. But either way, let's show off what we were working on tonight. And let's switch. Yeah, actually, Edenwaith, I got two different boxes of it. I think one is an Apple version. And this is... I'm not sure which version this is. I think it's Tandy because the sticker got ripped off. Oh well. I do not have Police Quest 2. I'm not a huge Police Quest fan, oddly. I might have a collection somewhere. And just what's behind me is only a small part of the collection. This is just the stuff that I guess I like better, but then there's a whole another shelf and boxes and all kinds of stuff of other great games over there too. So what we're going to show off now, can you show off the shower scene again?
Yes.
This is a hot and steamy shower scene
Yeah.
filled with murder. So if that's oh nice, that's the Pixel Quest. Yeah, I've heard of that. That's the shop that you can buy them from. Cool. Hide your children, hide your kids, hide your wife. We don't have kazoons here, Renaissance, but we do have I have a keyboard so I can play some what was the he played something great on kazoo the other day. It sounded really good. I forget what it was, but it just sounded really good.
Mega Man.
It was something. It was really cool. There was something with a cool bass line, and then he mixed it up with another song, but it was also really cool, so it worked. I totally forget. It was great. Okay. All right. So what you guys are looking at here is Pro Tools, the DAW digital audio workstation software for composing, recording, whatever. Let me delete those extra tracks. This is sending real MIDI information to the MT32, which is then playing back through the mixer, then getting sent back into the PC, and then you'll hear it. It's complex and pain. Ah, thank you for the host. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Exodal? Exodal?
Is that axolotl?
Axolotl?
Is an axolotl?
I don't know. We'll figure it out. But thank you for the host. Much appreciated. So let's play what we have. So you go into Nancy's basically got herself to this lodge. It's late at night. She's been traveling all day via train and car. She really needs a shower. Like it was kind of subtle that the guy was telling her, like, hey, you're not so smelling so hot, honey. But that's kind of what I mean. I don't know if you wrote it that way, Julia, but that's what I picked up in the game.
Oh my goodness.
So that's kind of Oh yeah, and the Renaissance, you played this on stream, didn't you?
Yes, he did
You played the
indeed.
demo? That'd be awesome. I can't wait for the game to be released and to watch a stream of you playing the game on release. I hope you do that. That would be cool. Oh, E.C. Myers, nice.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome.
Let us know, please, and feel free to
Yes.
Twitter, whatever, hit us up and let us know.
Yeah, I love watching people play it because it's like free play testing and I love being in chat and answering questions and everything. So if I can make it, I always try to make those.
And break the game if you can.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So then
Actually,
when
yes,
it's
totally,
released, it
sincerely.
won't be broken.
Exactly. Oh, so do you want me to show the scene that we're doing? We're exploring?
Yes, let's show the scene,
Okay.
and then I'm gonna play
Okay.
after because we don't have the music implemented yet. But Nancy just needs a shower because she's she's a little ripe. Ouch! You aren't looking too sharp. Are you psycho? You should be more careful. Thanks for playing. Okay, you can skip off this now. The Renaissance. Did you get that death when you were playing through it? I don't know if you did. I don't think I got to see the playthrough actually. I need to go back through your archives and watch it. Okay, yeah, you
I
can
don't know why
shut
it's
that.
playing like a billion times. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I guess it must be something in the scripting or something, right?
I don't know because I've got this tab. The tab I've got Twitch open on my PC is muted and the volume is turned all the way down on the iPad. So I don't know why it's doing that. But anyway,
It's
it's
got
good
to
because
be
we
the
get to hear it
game.
multiple times.
It's got to be the game, right?
No, it shouldn't be, but maybe.
Well,
Maybe something else.
so Renaissance is saying I did not. I never died, sadly. Well, there's nothing sad about that. That's good. Uh,
Yes.
Julia was saying earlier that her goal was to make it difficult to die in the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's worked out. But let's play what we have. So we're going to rescore
Yes.
that because that music is cool, but we're trying to get it. First of all, we're trying to get it on the MT32. Second of all, we're trying to get it a little bit cooler. So here's what we
Yes.
have. We can't sync it up, sadly. Just maybe in a couple of weeks we'll do that. And that's going to be the 4 stabs. And then after, can you show off the other where you don't get stabbed? The other
Oh
version?
yeah, sure. I think I restored it. Okay, so we lock the door.
So Nancy's still going to shower, but this time she locked the door. probably a good idea in any situation where you're in an
Oh yeah, I
unfamiliar place.
always lock the bathroom door.
Yeah.
Did you hear someone trying to open the bathroom door? Probably just the sound of the plumbing. Ah, that was refreshing. This is very pixelating. E.C. Myers. I like that.
And there we go. So there's also a version of it where she is not brutally executed. And we noticed that there were pipe sounds
Mm-hmm.
that she referred to. So we wanted to
Yeah.
put some pipe sounds in there using the MT32.
Yes.
So those are going to be our little pipe noises that go in there when you don't
Mm-hmm.
get killed. Furroid, no, please, not
Yeah, we're
that.
not doing the puzzle where you slide the paper under the door, push the key from outside, and pull it back in underneath the door. We're not doing it.
Yeah, this is like MT32 sound
Mm-hmm.
design Foley work, I guess you could call it. We're
Mm-hmm.
we're we're limiting ourselves heavily, as you can see by the artwork of the game. Although it's very beautiful, it's clearly very limited in color palette and also resolution. But that's purposeful. The main influence for this game is, of course, the Colonel's Bequest. If you're not familiar with that, that is a game from 1987 or 88, 88, 89,
89.
89
89.
by
Mm-hmm.
Sierra and designed by Roberta Williams. The artist, one of Julia's favorites, is a guy
Mm-hmm.
named Douglas Herring. Although I
Yep.
shouldn't be talking about it, you should be talking about it, right, Julia?
Well, Doug Herring, so he's a guy that there's not a lot of artists that, well, I don't know about now. I think it's more common now, but especially back in like the 80s and even 70s, there were not a lot of artists who were technically proficient and who also were artistic, who could paint and draw traditionally as well. And so it really worked out for Doug because not only did he get to work on a lot of early stuff, a lot of Sierra stuff, but he actually had a hand in building the tools that were used. And so in that way he was really valuable to the company because he could do a bunch of different things as well as project management and stuff like that. And so this game in particular, well, not this game, but the Colonel's Bequest, is the one where he basically did most of, if not all, the art, and he had the most creative control over that one. So, out of all the stuff he did for Sierra, I believe that's the one that he considers the one that's most representative of his work. And I know from reading a Computer Gaming World article from back in the day that, in particular, this one, the artists were given a lot more creative freedom than they were in a lot of the other projects. Because before, what would happen is whoever's designing the game, like Roberta Williams or something, she would actually draw a quick sketch of what she wanted the background to be, and then she had the artist come in and basically enhance what she had already started drawing. But with the Colonel's Bequest, that step didn't happen. They were just furnished with, some um, house plans, some floor plans of plantation houses and things like that, and they were kind of told to do what they wanted in a way, which I think also helps the game visually because the when you have from the beginning the foundation for a really good composition, that really helps when you finish the piece. But when you have someone like Roberta Williams, who, yeah, she can do a lot of different things really well, but she really is not an artist. Her compositions at the aren't, I don't think, that awesome. I mean, they did the trick, especially at the lower resolutions. But when you get to something like Colonel's Bequest, where it's like 320 by 200, but the pixels are the SCI version of that Sierra engine that they had for the graphics, I think it really helps that the artists were able to take more of a lead on that, and I think it really shows.
Can we see you, by the way?
Yeah, we can see me. Um, see
We don't. I
me.
mean, we don't have to see you, but
Yeah.
there, we see you now.
And then Dan has to do
Nice.
whatever he does to make that happen.
I just have to close something on Discord. It's. I don't know. I feel like there's not a lot of people that stream like the way we stream, where we're in two
Hmm.
separate locations with each other. There's some people that do it. I don't know. Seems not so common. Yeah, we need to see you, Julia. So Renaissance, what were you guys doing tonight? What were you guys playing? And also, I wanted to know, do you do any video game art, or are you strictly physical medium? Digital? Do you do any digital stuff? I don't think I know. So if anybody doesn't know, I'll give a
Hmm.
brief thing. The Renaissance is a streamer and artist. He plays games. Oh, you played Finish KQ5.
Oh
That's
my
my
goodness!
favorite.
Congratulations.
That's my favorite King's Quest. I love the music. That's Mark Siebert, composer. That's fantastic. But Renaissance plays retro games. He plays new games. He does some painting on stream.
Beautiful
He
paintings.
does
Yeah.
kazoons, which is him playing tunes on the kazoo, and they're really good. Like, kazoo, you would think, oh, this is really not going to be cool, but no, he does a good job with them. I was impressed, and that's me as a musician giving my honest opinion there. So, so yeah, nice, nice. King's Quest 5. We've played the Weeping Willow theme on
Yes.
stream before. That's my favorite music and probably the most. That's not what it is. I don't really know it exactly, but oh, you might paint the willow. Oh, that'd be great.
Sweet.
That
Yeah.
would be awesome. Yeah, that's my favorite. Uh, I would say it's my second favorite Sierra game after Quest for Glory 1. The Quest for Glory series is just kind of superior because it added a whole nother element for me to the adventure game that just made it like, I don't know, it just made it awesome. Nobody's really been able to recapture that to
Mhm.
me.
Mhm.
Mage's Initiation is maybe the closest thing that I can think of that does it. I haven't played Quest for Infamy, so I can't really say. Does Quest for Infamy have a lot of that element? Oh God,
I don't know actually.
you played through the NES KQ5. I am sorry. I am very sorry about that. Yes, it does. Okay. Yeah, I kind of figured it had some RPG elements to it, but I like the fact you can kind of grind in Quest for Glory games if you want. That's not really something that would have been thought of um, for that style of game. Heroine's Quest, yeah, and that's a free game too, isn't it? Heroine's Quest,
I think so.
I think it is. It's not. It's not Infamous Studios, is it? That was a recently released one.
I don't
The
know.
Renaissance. Have you played any of those other Heroine's Quest or Quest for Infamy? Any of the newer ones? I think you'd really like them. I think you'd really like them. Slats game, Betrayed Alliance.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice,
absolutely. 100%.
nice.
Yeah. Betrayed Alliance is free and it's an EGA adventure game.
Oh yeah, I've been looking at all the
Yeah.
art he's been doing on Twitter.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, that's really cool stuff too. I haven't played Betrayed Alliance yet, but I've seen some footage. Did we show off some footage on this stream? Maybe I saw it on somebody else's stream then.
I don't think we did it here.
No? Okay. Well, we like to show off other people's work here, and
Oh,
especially,
speaking of
yes.
showing off other people's work,
Yeah.
well, not this is just reminds me. We had the last like 6 images of Dan, This Is Your Life.
Oh no.
Yes?
Oh, that makes sense, Ren. That makes sense. And that makes sense. Maybe it doesn't work well for stream. Maybe it's just more of a game that I like playing. We don't stream gameplay on our streams, at least not at this point. Maybe I will later when Empire of Sin or Crimson Diamond is released. Maybe we'll do some of that game streaming, but for now we don't do that. Oh God. There I am. That's probably it's in Europe. I don't know. Working with John Romero, so it's been pretty awesome. The Romero family is amazing. Brenda, I would say Brenda Romero is really my mentor. So it's been kind of an unbelievable situation. Like she is the one who encouraged me to get into games in the first place. And if you don't know about her, she's worked on games since I think 1981. She worked on the entire Wizardry series. She worked on the Jagged Alliance series. She worked on Def Jam Icon, which I showed off a little bit
Hmm.
earlier. She worked on Playboy the Mansion. And this game that we're working on now, Empire of Sin, is really her game. It's her baby. And I'm honored to be a part of it. And I'm fortunate to be a part of it and learn from it. So, yes, you can get the link to the Discord. It is right there. My thing, I don't know what I have to do to make that function properly because Discord changes the link every time. It
Mm.
only lasts 24 hours. So maybe I have to just update it.
It's funny you say that, Lays, because the sound guy was here in the stream earlier, Sam Tacky.
He might still be here.
Okay.
He's the sound he's the front of house guy, but he's also like the guru. So he helps me level my sounds on stage at soundcheck. To be honest, I think we do soundcheck most times for him. And that's the good that's in my opinion that's the way it's supposed to be. Cuz he's the one who makes it he creates what you guys hear in the audience. What we hear on stage, we've heard the concert, who knows how many times. So each time we go into a completely different place, an arena that has a lot of echoes, uh, an outdoor festival just set up in a field, a place that has really strict sound level requirements. You can only go to a certain level. So, anyway, yeah, DJ Mega Hammer, I don't want to do that because I don't want spam in there. I just want to keep it
Hmm.
to our people, as it were.
I have a question, Dan,
Yeah.
about all these keyboards that Lays mentioned. Why are there
Yep.
so many keyboards?
I use all of them.
I don't
Use all
doubt
of
it.
them.
I don't think that any of these were just decoration, but what
No.
are they all? Why so many?
Um. Well, the other keyboard player used four, and he
There's
wanted
Sam.
he wanted me to look. We wanted to kind of have a mirror image. Although if you look at Nigel's setup, he has if you can see that mouse pointer, he has a keyboard here, and a keyboard here, and then one this way. Whereas I set up a little bit differently. I play more modern keyboards. He actually plays two D50s and two M1s, two Roland D50s and two Korg M1s. Yeah, Sam Tacky is the guy. Sam Tacky is not. He's not a good sound guy. He's the sound guy. So, and he's taught me a lot about engineering, and he's actually the reason that we stream. Believe it or not, he's the
Hmm.
guy who's been on my case every time I see him in the tour bus or whatever. He's like, "Yo, you got to check this stream out. You got to do this, bro. You got to be doing. What are you doing? Stream. When are you starting streaming? All right, cool." So yeah, he's responsible for a lot.
I still don't know why there's so many keyboards here.
Well, you'll do different things in different songs, like different patches. So
Okay.
some songs you might have six different sounds. So you can
Okay.
split a keyboard, you can switch patches, but it's really clunky to do it that way.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you'll have yeah, well, Corey Henry is Corey Henry's if you don't know who Corey Henry is, he's the current next Herbie Hancock or somebody like that. Like he's unbelievable. He's unbelievable. And Jordan Rudess is more of a keyboard programmer guy, crazy. By the way, I actually have five keyboards. Yeah, ask Sam Tacky's the only one who actually sees the show. I don't get to see the show. See where he is in this picture? He's out here somewhere. That's where he is, in the middle of the crowd. And he actually can probably answer this too. I think I want to say this is in Switzerland.
Oh, you said Europe for the other one. That was pretty vague.
I think this is Switzerland.
Where was the other one?
I don't
Where,
know.
okay, never mind. Back to Switzerland.
I think that's Switzerland. Sam
Okay.
Tacky, what do you think? I remember that stage. It could also be England, but I think it's or is this the yeah, I think it's Switzerland. I think this is the show my buddy Frero is promoting. I think there's a big stadium right back here,
Okay. Yeah, I can see
the
something like that. Yeah.
Tissot Arena or something.
Okay.
in it wasn't Zurich. I
Oh,
forget.
first one's UK,
First
Sam
one's
has.
UK, yeah.
Good work.
Yeah, I think that's where this is.
Switzerland.
I think it's last year. I think it's last summer.
Oh, that wasn't that long ago, Dan. Holy cow. Okay.
No. It's hard to
All right.
remember. It is. They all look the same. Ah, okay. Now
Yeah.
this is not Sean Paul. This is the. It is a Jewish summer camp, and I'm trying to remember the name. Fundraiser, and we
Hmm.
had a huge orchestra playing, and we played with all like the top Jewish acts that are like current pop acts. And I was backing. I was just playing auxiliary keyboards for this. I came in. This is a good story because this is the Lincoln Center in New York City. Uh, I think they call it now David Geffen Hall or something. This is the Lincoln Center in New York. It's a pretty famous venue, I guess. I think the Opera, the Met is here. I can't remember, but it's nice. And what we did here is I came in having none of the music, so I had to come in and read it at sight for the concert. So that was fun, and I didn't know any of the songs.
Oh, wow.
And I didn't have my familiar keyboard gear either, so that was also fun.
This is your
Uh,
guitar.
I have no idea where this is, but um, I do know that that's. Is that on the ship? No, it's not on the ship. I can't tell you. I don't know. Yeah, there's not enough there to tell you.
Not enough there. Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right. You've done pretty well so far. Oh, looks like an old one. Oh, wait.
Can you zoom in on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to zoom in.
That looks like. Oh, that's my friend Martine. Oh, that's my friend Martine and my friend Colin. This is. Shoot. I assume this is at the university that I went to, Stony Brook University. It's probably for the film festival, but I don't know. My friend Martine, I'll tell you a quick story about him. He lives right now in Beirut, Lebanon. He's a
Hmm.
teacher at the American University there, and he has been trying to get out of the country, but his baby that was born there through some crazy whatever can't get a US passport. He has to send proof of documentation to the US and get something back. So he's been trying to leave ever since they had the explosion there,
Mm-hmm.
cuz he said it's been just a disaster. So I've been messaging him, sending him WhatsApps every once in a while to make sure he's okay. But I met him at Stony Brook. I think he was a doctoral student at the time, and yeah, he's a great composer. I would love to share some of his music. He doesn't really do games or anything like that. He does. I think he's done some film, but he's really more into like the art composing, and he's written books on poetry. He's from Argentina. He's a really interesting dude, really awesome dude. And Colin and I actually had the first band I think I had was with Colin and playing bass. He lives near me still, out here somewhere, and we've been playing together for 20 years, I think. So yeah, that's that. There's a lot of cool stuff there.
Nice.
So we hope the best. I hope for the best for Martine and his family.
Now I can't. How do I make this? I need to get to the next one. I don't know how. This is a new. Why is this
Oh
happening?
dear, why is this happening? I
Why is
don't
this
know.
happening to me right
I don't
now?
know. Can you like close it and reopen it or something?
And I can open up a new one, I guess, or
Yeah.
see all
You have to
photos.
unzoom all the way.
Ugh, I did. I did the other time.
Get
It
all your
didn't help.
memories in one place. Except this is
What
Windows,
is
so it make it
this? I hope
really
nothing
difficult
weird
to
comes up.
use.
Jeez.
Hmm. Should I
No,
switch? Should I
no,
switch
it's
views for a
fine. There's nothing
second?
on this.
Enhance. De-enhance.
What is going on here? Give
Dance.
me a second. Ugh,
Where is your life? Balance. Sam
give me a
Tacky's good for
second.
these.
Let me see. Why is this
By the way,
breaking?
Sam Tacky, what kind of he's also a amateur meteorologist. What kind of weather are we expecting this week? I'm not joking about that either.
Really?
No.
Hold on, I need to do
He's
another
definitely
share.
there.
Just
Like
sit
I said,
tight.
he's my guru. It's not just sound. It's all kinds of things.
Weather.
He's like he's the Beijing Buddha.
No.
We're gonna have to coin that one. Okay, so that is taken about a foot from where I'm standing. That's me performing on guitar for a video that uh, my friend just made this. So this is in my basement.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So, okay, so what was this for,
It's a
though?
video for one of the companies that I work for. Let me see if I can find it, and we can maybe play that. We
Sweet.
did a cover song of, I think it's on their Instagram. I don't remember. This was during the pandemic though, so this is semi-recent.
That looks like a Back to the Future t-shirt.
It is
Nice.
Instagram. Let's see if I can find it. The company is called Element Music, who I currently still work for, although we are way, way low on what we would normally do a ton of work, and especially this time of year, but due to the pandemic, obviously, we're not. Okay, so let's see if I can share this. I don't know if I have a Dan only thing, and do I? Well, I could.
Sure. Good.
There we
Good.
go. This is the cover of the song we did.
Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree? I travel the world.
I hope this is the right video.
Seven seas. Everybody's looking for something.
I know you got my back, and you know I got you. So come on, come on, come on.
Everybody's looking for something.
So there you go.
Oh
Sweet
my gosh.
dreams are.
Okay, we're gonna stop that.
How have you never showed this to me before?
I probably haven't watched. I think that's the first time I saw it myself. Yeah. So those two guys, Adam and Jerome, were actually on The Voice, and their name. Check out their name. They are known as the One Up Duo
Hmm.
because Adam is also a video game nerd like myself.
Oh my goodness.
And I have been his musical director for the last 5 years, I guess, when we do shows. And I think I'll be with him this Saturday.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
Jerome is his husband. And then Abby is another singer also in that band. And she's great. She's obviously, if you couldn't tell by the video, but
Hmm.
they're phenomenal. All three of them are phenomenal singers. I didn't realize it was only the three of us in the video, or four of us in the video. That's kind of funny. So yeah, that's where that picture is from. That's literally me right here, with a couple of lights. And then actually, a buddy of mine did that background. I think it was something else before. So yeah, I miss VHS too. Oh, this is a great, 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 great picture right there. So this is the first iteration of the Sean Paul band and dance crew. This is back when we had 4 dancers. So this is Natsuki right here. This is Mark, the first drummer I worked with in the band. This is Karelix. She just got married. This is Copper Sean. He is the DJ. This is, I don't know who that guy is. That's John, one of our lighting designers. This is Allison, one of the dancers. This is Kaysen, my favorite dancer. Well, I shouldn't say my favorite dancer. She's my favorite person to just be around on tour, and I miss being with her on tour. Both of these two left to work with Beyonce. And Kaysen is she was just great because we traveled from New York together. Allie lived in Alabama. Karelix was in Miami, and Natsuki she was in New York too. But Karelix was like, I don't know. She, in a way, I feel like she taught me a lot of stuff about just being on the road. So it was good to be on the road with her. And this is Steve. He's Sean's manager. At the time, he was Sean's road manager. This was taken in one of the greatest places to go if you ever get a chance to go there, Tenerife, the island of Tenerife. It's Spain, but it's off the coast of Western Sahara in Africa. It's an island, but it's not Africa, but it's Spain. So it's like tropical-ish. And this is on top of a volcano. And I believe they said they filmed the movie Clash of the Titans or something. They filmed part of the movie up there.
Nice.
So yeah, this is a nice one. This was
Yeah, and
really enjoyable.
and you know what? This is a bit of
Renaissance.
a cheat, and there's a reason why Dan knows so very much about this picture and all the details.
Why?
It's because Dan sent this picture to me.
Oh, I
I did
did?
not find this myself.
Yeah, but I mean, this is an easy one to remember because of the background.
I see.
And
It's
I
not just
just
a dark stage with some lights and some.
yeah, this was
Creepy.
a really cool trip. And Steve put this together. Steve was like, "Yo, who wants to go to a volcano tomorrow?" And of course, we're all in. We're all in on that. And the hotel that we stayed at, I remember just being, "Ooh, why do I have you as doing this here?" Oh no, that's
Oh
even
yeah,
worse.
please change me back.
Oh, that's even worse. What's going on? There we go. Yeah, so the hotel we stayed at was phenomenal too. A good story happened there. Sean was sitting in the lobby. We were just sitting like in the lobby hanging out. Sean is sitting at the piano just playing. Like he doesn't really play piano, but he's that song's called Dream Girl by Sean Paul. I would play it,
Oh.
but it's not. It's going to get in fact, that cover we just played, we might have to edit out too for a copyright strike, but whatever. We'll figure it out. So yeah, he was playing in the lobby, right? And it was like he was playing in the morning. He's just sitting at the piano playing all the time. And so like I don't know, it's night or whatever because a lot of us we don't really change our schedules when we go to Europe. So it'll be midnight here, but in Spain it might be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and none of us are in bed. So we're just like up all night or whatever. We try to keep on our same schedule here if possible. And there's a wedding at this hotel. So somehow the bride or the groom comes out and realizes that Sean is sitting there with them. Or like not with them, he's at the hotel. And we're just chilling. So the bride and groom come out and they're like, "Oh my God, can we take a picture?" So he takes a picture with them. She's in her wedding gown. He's in his tux. It's literally their wedding reception. So he gets a picture with them. At the time, the album we were touring off of was called Tomahawk Technique. And there was a song on the album called Wedding Crashers. So they did like a funny picture. It was like Wedding Crashers. And it was pretty funny. I don't know. It was just a funny little story that you know, stuff like that happens. And I also remember from that particular place, we were there for like a week. I forget exactly why, but we were there for a long time, and the internet was god awful, but it was a pretty cool place. It was, the hotel was amazing, the view was amazing. I have a lot of pictures. I mean, I have a lot of pictures that have never been like put on any social media or whatever from tours that are just really cool that I just don't have time to put everything up. I mean, it's hard maintaining social media. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just really cool stuff. I don't know what else I can even say about it, but yeah. Oh, look at this. Interesting. We'll check that out in a second. So I don't know about you, Julia, but I'm about ready to say we should go on a little bit of a raid. And I had mentioned earlier Bustatunes, and it looks like he
Yes.
just started streaming.
Yes, I saw that too.
So I think we should raid his stream, and it's only what 9:20 over on the West Coast. He's in Seattle, so it's only
Nice.
9:20 over there, and he's probably doing something cool. I cannot imagine. Wait,
You
what
gotta
did?
intro him. You gotta be his hype man.
Oh yeah, Bustatunes is the composer. He's a well-known composer. He is the composer of Mortal Kombat 11. He's also the composer on the original, the Monkey Island remake. That was his first job, and he did the music via MT32 for the remake. I think that was what, in 2009 or something like that, 2008, 7. But he's also worked on Call of Duty. He did the music for Call of Duty World War II, and he's now doing the music for Call of Duty, the mobile game that they're working on now. And there's a unbelievable trailer. He's got like an orchestra in the Czech Republic, I think. There's a video of the whole orchestra playing his music. It's like, damn. Oh, Lace, thank you. Yeah,
Yes,
and
thank you
thank you,
so
Ren.
much.
Dude, thank you for the raid, man. It's awesome to have you guys here, and much appreciated. So let's raid our buddy. How do we do this? How do I do it again?
/raid and then space and then the name of his thing.
Do I have to do an @?
I don't think so.
Okay. No, that's not right.
No, it's /raid and then.
Oh yeah,
but-
that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, thanks for the raid, the Renaissance. It was
So
awesome.
anyway, thank you guys all. The channel's intended for mature audiences. Okay. Thank you guys all for being here. Lace, thank you for letting us be a part of everything. It was much appreciated. And good luck with your career, and we'll hopefully see you here and on Twitter as well. And then when all this crap is done, we'll all see each other at some points in person again.
You will.
Thank you, Feroy, for coming. Thank you, Sam Tacky. Later. Mousimus.
Good night, Mousimus.
Good
Yeah.
night. And let's run and raid our boy Will. Okay. I think we are raiding.
Sweet.
Perfect dude to raid in perfect time. And I'm happy about that.
I wonder what this game is he's playing.
I can't believe that shit, man. That's so.
Here we go. Oh, he's actually playing.
Yeah,
a game.
whatever.
This must be one of his games that he worked on.
I can't believe this shit.
I think he's just standing there. Like, what is he controlling?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Thanks for clipping.
I guess you can't see it.
All right. Turn it off, the stupid RPG, man.
What is going on?
Hey, what's up, Dan? How's it going? I caught some of your music stream earlier.
Solid copy, Hunter 2-1. Rolling in now. Target acquired.
Maple Mystery. How's it going? Oh, raiding party, shit. Well, great to see y'all. You're about to find out that I am very, very bad at this game. Oh, damn, a lot of people showed up. Great to see y'all. This is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
So this is the game.
A game where if you have issues with people barking orders at you, murderous orders at you, you're not going to have a good time. Similarly, whoever created the checkpoint system in this game, I'm gonna have a couple words with them, with my fists.
Come on, since when does Shepard care about games?
Did I compose on this game? No, I didn't work on this. Is long before I was, well, no, I didn't work on this one. I did World War II, Call of Duty World War II. But yeah, you know, this is, I think, the first COD game that I ever played, perhaps. I didn't play, for some reason I didn't play Modern Warfare 1, but I did